Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest episode of Pop Talks. Thanks for coming back to our very first timely episode. I am your host, Andy Foreman. I'm sitting here with...
I'm Jason Cox, and as long as you live, your nose and ears are just going to keep growing and growing. Andy, who's our guest on this episode?
The beloved Ben Jenkins is back.
Excelsior, true believers!
You may remember him from our Star Wars episodes.
Episodes 1 and episodes 2.
Exactly, the best ones.
The prequel podcasts.
Yeah. So we figured since we can go through 3 movies in an episode with you, why not go through 18 movies in an episode with you?
Challenge accepted.
We are talking today about none other than the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Everybody's
that?
Fair that you should say timely, though, because they started off
That's
as
what I was thinking when you said
30s,
timely.
Yeah.
Oh. Whoops.
Marvel, previously known as Timely Comics.
I was just referring to this week's Marvel film.
Right.
There's a Marvel film out this week?
Yeah.
It's every week.
That's actually close to accurate.
Pretty close.
Yeah. We're recording this right after Infinity War came out, so we figured what better way to celebrate it than by talk about the good, the bad, and the okay. Mostly okay.
Yeah.
Mostly okay. That's maybe a little good.
That's what it says on the box set of all the Marvel DVDs.
The good, the bad, the you didn't want to kill yourself
Just-
watching this movie.
USA Today said, mostly okay.
We should start with good, though, since we're going to go chronologically.
If we go chronologically, yeah,
Yeah.
it is good.
Iron Man 1.
Fun movie. I have good memories of seeing it. When it came out, it was like right after Spider-Man 3, so it looked like the superhero movie could be in danger. If this one sucks, then that'll really put a nail in the coffin for the next generation. And then Jon Favreau came out and just gave us a good film and resuscitated RDJ's career in the process.
Yeah. The year before that, we had Ghost Rider,
Yeah.
Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, and Spider-Man 3.
Whew! Yeah, it was bad. It was a bad triad.
The triad of bad.
Struck out.
The unholy trinity.
The tribad.
That was a rough year for, I think, all of us.
Cinema in general.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. No, I love the first Iron Man. Like, unironically, I'm saying that, too. Like, I think it's a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
Unironically.
Yeah, unironic. Okay, this episode's over.
All right, Ben,
Nailed
you're not
it.
coming back for a 4th time.
Nailed it.
You had your chance.
You just tripled yourself.
Oh my god, this came out the same year as like The Dark Knight and Hellboy 2.
Oh yeah.
Who would have guessed that 10 years out, Iron Man would have the greater impact on cinema than Dark Knight did?
I don't.
Okay, maybe not the greater impact on cinema, but like the greater lasting like commercial fame.
Well,
Sure.
yeah. Well, commercial being the operative word there.
Yeah.
Making
Well-
bajillions of dollars every time one of their movies comes out.
Yeah, I guess that's just because Warner Brothers has driven Batman right into the ground. So
After driving it down our throats,
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
came out the other end and into the ground.
Like in the woods somewhere too. Like not even like in a toilet, but like in the woods somewhere.
Yeah.
Batman falls over in the woods. Does anyone hear it?
No, because he's a fucking ninja.
Yeah, exactly.
If Batman shits in the woods, can anybody hear it?
Unpopular opinion: Will Arnett is the best Batman.
I think the Pope would hear it.
What?
The Pope shit in the woods. Batman shits in the woods. He shits because obviously Batman's gonna be elevated. He's gonna be up on a tree or something. When he shits, it lands on the Pope or near him.
Oh, that's awful.
Oh.
Poor Pope.
Eh,
His Holiness.
he's got that hat to protect him.
He's in the Pope mobile.
He's in the Pope mobile. He's just lost in the woods.
But then the Batmobile just like shits in the Pope mobile. So
No, it just backfires on it. So there's soot all over it. Yeah, so Iron Man.
Iron Man, yeah, good movie. Oh gosh, what's his name?
Jeff
Downey
Bridges.
Jr.?
Jeff Bridges. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Really enjoyed him in that too.
I like this movie because it's a real movie.
It is.
This is something that we're going to talk about later. But a lot of Marvel movies don't feel like their own thing anymore.
No, the formula is pretty well established,
Mm-hmm.
thanks to this movie, of course.
But this movie seems like it has like real stakes in it too. Like the whole cave scene, like, is actually kind of intense.
Oh, it's so good. I love it. That's the best sequence in the movie. And
Yeah.
part of what I love about it is that it takes these concepts that all like have really deep 60s roots and like keeps enough that works, but modernizes it in such a way that it feels
Contemporary.
contemporary, accessible. Like putting him in Afghanistan instead of Vietnam makes more sense. yeah, it just everything about this is really streamlined and sleek, and every second in that movie that is in there feels like it needs to be. Like the movie's really well paced. There's no fluff.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting you mentioned him putting him in Afghanistan, because like for a while before the first Captain America movie came out, I was afraid that's what they were gonna do. Was just update it straight to like, oh, he's gonna fight the Iraq War or something, and I'm like, Captain America belongs in World War II.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he
doesn't matter how far from that time period we get. Like that's where he needs to come from.
Yeah, he was born in that era.
I mean, it doesn't matter if he's frozen in ice for like 20 years or 50.
Yes.
Yeah. It all works.
Or 800. I don't care.
Captain Native America?
Yeah. But I mean 800 years from now.
Oh. So Captain America 2099.
Oh my god, yes.
Does he have a laser shield? Like it's all Superman?
Yeah, doesn't he? No, that was in, what was it, Avengers Next, I think.
Oh yeah, Next Avengers, Heroes of Tomorrow.
There you go, yeah.
Or
not as good as Young Avengers.
Marvel pimping out the Avengers concept as far as it'll go.
We're talking about good stuff right now.
That's right. We are talking about good
We're
old
supposed to talk about just the movies.
It did. The one thing about this movie that has stuck around that I don't know how to feel about is what's her name?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Thank you. Yeah,
I thought that's who you were
blanking on everyone. Yeah, because she just feels. I mean, she fits well in this movie, but her like love-hate relationship is like sort of had a detrimental impact on the MCU over time, because she pops in and out of movies. She's like, there's something, and that's something that's sort of turned into a strength later on. Is like you can have people popping in and out, like Hulk can appear in in Captain America or an Avengers or a Thor movie.
Right, but nothing hinges on that, so it's really just like, who's available, who actually wants to do it, and doesn't make any sense. Yeah, okay, cool.
Of course, they also could have, Terrence Howarded her and like recast her later on.
Yeah.
Hey, is Kirsten Dunst doing anything lately?
Right.
We need a redhead.
Is Rachel McAdams doing anything?
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
Wait, we've cast her in something too. Darn it, she's already.
Well, make her blonde, and no one will notice.
Precisely.
Well, shit.
That's.
And we put a bunch of purple CGI on her face. No one will notice.
That's the same logic that Ike Perlmutter used when he recast Rhodey. He's like, Don Cheadle? Okay, yeah, he's a few shades blacker, but no one's gonna notice.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
To be clear, I mean, Ike Perlmutter's a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
Not Don Cheadle.
Yeah, Antecedent Duffy is Perlmutter. Yeah, that guy, I mean, he does his job well, but yeah, he's not a good human being.
No. Definitely does his job well, though.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else about it? Oh! The whole idea of this connective tissue of stuff that recurs from one movie into the next.
Oh, yeah.
Something that Marvel could have easily dropped the ball on. That could have just fell really flat and sucked. But it played out really well.
And they integrate it well into this movie, where it's like, just call a shield. And then they have like Nick Fury at the end, which of course blew everybody's minds when it came out. But they didn't have like 10 scenes of like Nick Fury watching Iron Man and all that stuff. They saved that for the sequel.
Yeah,
They did.
They ruined the sequel with that.
The sequel was bad, yeah.
Yeah. Well, before we get to that, there's one in between, which nobody talks about.
That's right.
But is great. The Incredible Hulk.
Lives up to the title.
I love The Incredible Hulk.
It's pretty good.
I don't care what anybody says. Again, this movie feels like a movie, which I have come to appreciate as the MCU has gone on. I'm not saying it's gotten worse, because I like a lot of the movies that have come out lately.
The highs are higher.
Yeah.
But the lows are definitely like, ooh.
Yeah. I just appreciate that it feels like an actual movie. It feels like something that's celebrating the legacy of the Hulk. Like they'll incorporate elements of the comics and of the TV show, which everybody's like, "Ooh, the TV show's corny." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's a part of the character."
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't do Batman without doing Adam West and Burt Ward. So
yeah, right.
Yeah,
I mean that's just part of the history. It'll always be part of the history.
You got to do Bixby and Ferrigno.
You can find a way to pay homage to that. It's fine.
Yeah, it's like being ashamed of the Spider-Man theme song, like Spider-Man.
Yeah, right. Like, yeah.
And then Sam Raimi worked that in like a tasteful, cute way in the first one of his Spider-Man movies.
He's just kind of winking at it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, gently winking.
Well, I love the idea of Bruce Banner on the run. That's way more interesting to me than like Hulk in space or anything like that. Like I like the idea of Bruce Banner on the run.
Yeah.
And kudos to Marvel for not overdoing the origin thing.
Yes.
Which they also deserve credit for with another movie we'll talk about later, Spider-Man. But for the time being with Hulk, it just trusting the audience enough to know the basics. Is a good thing.
Well, how much earlier was it that the Eric Bana Hulk?
5 years.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's close enough within recent memory for people to remember it if they don't already know it, which a lot of people would.
And everybody knows who the Hulk is anyway.
Yeah.
Everybody gets it.
Yeah.
Big green angry dude. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You don't really need to know anything more than that. It's really just like
his origin.
He gets angry. He turns into a big muscly green guy. That's all you need to know.
Exactly.
What's his name? William Hurt.
Yeah.
I love him as General Ross.
Yeah. He did a great job.
Yeah. Thank God they brought him back.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And people always say like, oh, this movie's not really a part of the MCU when it has Robert Downey Jr. in it.
That's hard to make that claim. Yeah.
Oh, what if I told you we're putting a team together? Yeah. It has 2 actors that they have brought back. It says Nick Fury in the opening credits.
Mm-hmm.
They even say like, oh, I almost broke Harlem last time in the Avengers. Like, it's clearly part of the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Just because Ed Norton didn't move on doesn't mean it doesn't count.
Yeah.
And also,
who's the better Bruce Banner? Do we prefer Ed Norton or Ruffalo?
I prefer Ed Norton, but that's only because I feel like they tried to give him more character in The Incredible Hulk, and I feel like Mark Ruffalo has always been shortchanged in all the movies he's in.
Yes, it's not his fault. It's just that they haven't given him the material to work with. I would agree with that.
Well, honestly, for me, if you're ranking the Hulks, it goes Bill Bixby, Eric Bana, Edward Norton, Mark Ruffalo. I really love.
And Lou Ferrigno doesn't even rate, so screw him.
Well, he's at the top of the top.
He's the one holding up the little totem pole that they're on.
Yeah, they're all dancing on his bicep.
Right.
No, but I really like Eric Bana as the Hulk. I think he brought a lot to that character, like an actual character arc to that.
Eric Bana is a terrific actor who just sort of gets stuck with really schlocky projects.
Yeah, I feel like he needs a really good superhero movie. I mean, obviously he was in the Hulk, but I feel like he needs a
a really good one.
He needs a really good modern superhero movie.
Yeah.
Like whenever they do their Moon Knight Netflix series or something, whatever.
Yeah. Oh shit!
Slot him in there.
That's perfect. Actually, that's brilliant.
You're gonna put him on TV? You calling me a coward? No, what I'm saying is you're a television actor.
I've only ever called one man a coward, and that's Brian Doyle Murray.
Yes. if you get this reference, type it into the comments section, folks.
Right? Yeah. And put a little poo emoji.
What?
I don't know.
Have they listened this far?
Right.
They're all gone at this point.
Exactly.
Hi, Mike.
I almost said that.
Hi, Rich. Hi, Greg.
Yep.
Who else?
That's probably about it.
Yeah. That's it.
My wife is listening. Hey, Margs.
My wife.
Yeah. If you're still listening, comment your name in this. We'll give you a shout out next time.
Ooh, good incentive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anything else on Hulk or?
I just wish people would recognize what a good movie it is. I feel like they kind of lump it in as like, oh yeah, one of Marvel's missteps. I'm like, not one of Marvel's.
It's perfectly fine.
They don't even acknowledge it as part of the MCU, and I feel like a large part of that is just because of Ed Norton not coming back.
Yeah.
Being a recognizable face throughout the franchise. He's just like the one-off Hulk.
Yeah.
He's the Val Kilmer of the Hulk franchise.
One of 2 one-off Hulks.
That's fair.
He's a George Clooney, and then Eric Bana is the Val Kilmer.
Ooh. Yeah, that's the better comparison.
I'm not implying that Eric Bana is an asshole.
he's not slowly becoming unhinged.
Bill Bixby is the Michael Keaton. And then
Ruffalo's Bale.
Sure. And then who's Affleck? I guess it would just be whoever's miserable.
Whoever they cast as Amadeus Cho in Phase 4 or Phase 5.
Yeah. And whoever wants to kill themselves when they're playing the role.
Right.
Well, I guess Edward Norton would be Ben Affleck then, because he really didn't want to do it.
Yeah, right.
Wasn't he like constantly giving liner notes too?
Yeah, but hey, that movie turned out okay, so I guess they were for the best.
So he must have like found something engaging about it.
The Incredible Hulk is like the perfect example of how to properly reboot a series. Like,
well, yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking is because when they did Superman Returns, wasn't it supposed to put like Superman's 1 and 2 in sort of a hazy background or something like that? That's what they wanted to do, and I don't feel like they really accomplished that with Superman Returns, but I feel like they really did with Incredible Hulk. It's like they didn't really pull the specifics from it, but it's still loosely connected to it in a way that it's like the foundation that they need laid for this for this movie. It exists already, and they don't have to make specific reference back to it. But yeah, I feel like they managed to pull that off, whereas I don't think they really did that with Superman Returns.
This is what Superman Returns should have been.
Yeah.
But even Spider-Man is not integrated as seamlessly as the way Hulk is in Phase 1 of the whole MCU. He really just they really understand the fact that audiences know enough about the Hulk to not have to have a detailed new origin story.
Right.
And the super soldier serum caused the Hulk.
So good tip. Moving forward, hey, Captain America's coming.
Yeah, it's just a really well constructed movie, and people shit on it all the time, and I'm like, fuck you. It's
if they even bothered to shit on it,
yeah,
like most of them just completely ignore it. So.
It's one of the better MCU movies, I would say.
Yeah,
like it's one of the ones that stuck with me more. And I'm not sure if it's because of nostalgia, but I've gone back and watched it.
I think I think like you said, it feels like a real movie, and it's definitely not. It's before they had the cookie cutter that they've been using for a lot of their movies recently.
It's a little bit more adult.
Yeah, the cookie cutter feels like something that developed very recently.
Yeah, around phase 2.
Yeah, like mid phase 2. Yeah.
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet. Spoilers. Spoiler alert.
Speaking of 2, and also shoving too much shit in.
Yeah.
Iron Man 2.
Oh.
This movie it's fine, but it's nothing. And that's what's disappointing about it.
It's a bunch of cool-looking sunglasses.
Yeah.
Those of us who come around the shop will every now and then hear Andy refer to a movie as product, where it's like really they're not trying to tell a story; they're just trying to keep a franchise alive. And Iron Man 2 is a pretty gross example of that. It's a remixed version of Iron Man 1, where a lot of the character development is thrown out in favor of bigger explosions and more lasers
and cooler sunglasses.
There's one good part in it that I like, and it's where he's watching the footage of his dad, and then he sees him and he's like, here at Stark Industries, but then he keeps watching the outtakes. He keeps getting drunker and drunker, and it's like him becoming more and more human. I'm like, that's pretty good. It's too bad they didn't expand on this.
Yeah,
and there really was potential with Ivanko, with
Mickey Rourke,
creepy old Mickey Rourke.
Yeah. Even Justin Hammer, Sam Rockwell.
Oh, Sam Rockwell's a gem in this movie.
Yeah, he's great.
That scene where he's trying to hawk weapons to Rhodey,
to
John Cheadle, the highlight of the movie.
He elevates this movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
He's great at playing the guy that you love to hate.
Exactly.
He's one of those
so hateable.
He's one of those folks that I really wish would just come back to the MCU for even just a glorified cameo in something.
Yeah.
I'd love to see more of him.
Yeah, put him on a TV screen in the background or something. Just he's selling some really crappy shake weight or something.
Justin Hammer testifies against Tony Stark in court.
Yeah.
I do love the court scene. Oh, and it brings Gary Shandling in.
Oh,
right.
That's awesome.
Gary Shandling.
Yeah, I love him.
Nothing worse than a little prick, is there?
Yeah. I love the part where he's showing off the hammer tech, and then he's like, all right, now turn. And then it turns a full 180, and you hear him go oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. And he unplugs it. That's funny.
Yeah.
But then, you're enduring a bunch of scenes of, Nick Fury and, Scarlett Johansson. Both of whom are great.
Sure,
They're both great. They shouldn't be here, though.
ScarJo, can we just appreciate how extremely effective Whedon was in rescuing Black Widow in Avengers, turning her from a one-note awful character into someone who actually you care about.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same situation with Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman in Batman v Superman.
That's very fair.
I like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, but I don't want to see her in Batman v Superman because I want it to be Batman versus Superman. That's what this movie should be about. We don't need Wonder Woman, Flash, or
you're not asking for too much for asking for that.
Or Zod Doomsday, or Jimmy Olsen getting shot in the face, or
number of things. Iron Man 2 should be about one demon in a bottle, because that's what they were trying to do.
Oh, that was such a travesty that they wasted that Troy line as a B story in a movie that was about something else entirely.
Yeah.
That really should be the center of Iron Man's character arc in the MCU.
Also, they should have gone darker with it. I mean, I'm not saying an MCU movie needs to be super dark or anything, but they should have actually explored it a little bit. I mean, they explore parents dying of cancer and stuff. That's pretty dark for kids.
Watching Bucky Barnes punch Iron Man's dad to death in Civil War, if they can deal with that, little alcoholism's not going to kill people.
But again, this is later on in the overall evolution of their cinematic universe, so
they had greater public recognition, and you weren't going to lose money on Civil War.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. They knew what they were betting on. They knew they were already betting on a winner.
The Russo brothers, always winners. Love those guys.
Those guys are amazing, super talented.
Another great part of this, the post-credit scene with Thor.
The hammer.
What a great way to do that. Because you know what it is, but it's not fucking anything up in the movie.
Yeah.
That's one of the better post-credit scenes.
And it's fun to be the comic nerd walking in there and your friends what's that? Why? What is that supposed to be a hammer? Or something? What?
You're what are you, an idiot?
Yeah. Well, see, this came out back when people didn't care. Yeah. So it was actually fun to point out the Easter eggs, where it's Thanos reference to death in Infinity War. Is this Thanos' girlfriend? Yeah. And you're who?
Yeah, it's we have an 11-second trailer, guys. Could you analyze every frame a little faster, please? I need all those Easter eggs ahead of time.
Yeah, what's 11 times, 20 frames a second? 24
yeah,
frames a second? You only have so many frames to analyze.
Right.
Get on it, nerds.
Yeah, jeez.
But Iron Man 2, yeah, definitely just a lot less plot, a lot less character, more spectacle.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I'll say this: they learned a big lesson from that. They don't cram a bunch of shit in movies anymore.
Yes. Yeah. And they don't waste a man of Jon Favreau's talent on garbage anymore.
Yeah. Want to move on to Thor?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Thor's. I love Thor. It's really one of my MCU.
We need like a glass for you to smash.
Another.
Around. Yes.
Love this. Let's have another. Yeah, I love Thor.
Another wench.
Really... Oh yes, that's right. Oh, that movie's so pure. It's yeah, Kenneth Branagh. Love that guy. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it just really as Kenneth Branagh likes to point out in all these interviews recently, it was like the first heel turn of the Marvel universe where they're moving away from sci-fi to something else entirely. Yeah. And I thought it succeeded. I really enjoyed Thor. It's my favorite of the Thor movies. Unpopular opinion.
Actually, me too. Yeah. Me too, because Thor Ragnarok, we'll get to it, but it's unbearable. That's all I'm going to say right now.
Is it more unbearable than the Dark World?
No.
Ragnarok has its moments.
Okay. Ragnarok does have its moments. Yeah. Thor the Dark World is just completely disposable.
There's just the moment at the end where you get to walk away from it.
Yeah, that's the best part of that movie. We're not there yet. Yeah. But Thor 1, I actually really like. It feels, again, like a real movie. It has enough, throwaway references to Thor where he gets like the Donald Blake shirt, like with a pin on it. I'm like, that's all you need. That's really all you need.
Yeah. And it has my favorite Stan Lee cameo where he uses the pickup truck to try to get Mjolnir out of the ground.
That's right.
But did it work?
Yeah.
That's a great one. And then obviously it introduced Loki. But it also introduced Anthony Hopkins' Odin, which I love.
Poor Anthony Hopkins. Like, you could tell he signed on to this movie because Kenneth Branagh directed it. And then you get Alan Taylor for Thor 2, and he's like, shit.
But he gives it his all in all these movies. Like, he doesn't look like he wants to kill himself.
He looked pretty damn desperate to kill himself in Ragnarok. Like, he had that great scene at the beginning where it's Loki as Odin. Yeah. Which was fantastic. Yeah. But after that, it's like, okay. Anthony Hopkins does not want to be here. How do we write him out as gracefully as possible?
Yeah. Which, to be fair, I think they succeeded in.
They did. He gave him a meaningful death. He did more in death than he did as living character.
But I love this movie.
I like the lore behind it. Like they walk the line between Norse mythology and Marvel's 60s Thor pretty successfully.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing about a lot of these Phase 1 movies that I really like is they incorporate the whole history of the character, and it really feels like you're watching a culmination of this character's history, as opposed to like a one-off graphic novel or something. You know what I mean? Like like you'll watch Thor: The Dark World, and it just, if you're comparing comics to movies, it would just feel like some miniseries that you read, and you're like, whatever.
Yeah, this draws from many wells, many sources. Yeah,
Thor the first one feels like it feels like a best of Thor.
Yeah, you know what I mean? See a little Lee and Kirby in there. You can see a little Walt Simonson, a little JMS in it. Yeah, he worked on the scripts. So yeah, it definitely takes a lot of the best of Thor and distills it into a really good movie.
And I get you can't stretch that for like 18 movies, but at the same time, like, I'm not gonna lie, I like that a lot better than this like kind of just isolated feeling that a lot of these later MCU movies have, where it's like, we're just gonna make this movie, Thor 3 is coming out, and but there's like no reason for Thor 3 to be coming out, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, comes up in the rotation.
Yeah. All right, let's see. We've done 3 Cat movies, 3 Iron Man. Thor, you're next.
What's up? Do we have to do another one? We'll make it like Guardians, don't worry. Okay, at least people won't shit all over it.
At least people will pay money to see it, yeah. In record numbers.
Right.
You want to move on to Cat? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
There you go. I don't think I had anything important to say about Thor.
The one thing I liked that really was unexpected to me was like that moment when Thor goes into the shield base to like try to get his hammer, and you think, okay, here we go, he's gonna pick it up, and he doesn't because he's not worthy. Yeah. And then he like has this genuine moment later in the film where it's like, Loki, I'm sorry if I've like screwed you. Don't take it out on these innocent people. And that felt okay. That's a real human moment.
And it feels genuine.
And earned. Yeah. He's not just like picking up a hammer. He's growing as a human being, which is the whole point of storytelling.
Right. Yeah.
When I say these movies feel like movies, I say they feel like movies because they take their time. Like, and they have quiet scenes, and they have scenes that establish character. That's why like The Winter Soldier stands out, because it has that scene with like Peggy Carter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's heartbreaking.
It's really
the Alzheimer's scene.
Well done. You know what I mean? And it like
And you don't have to have that scene if you don't want to.
You don't.
He sees her obit or something in the paper, or somebody just tells him or something.
That could have been a deleted scene on the DVD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but it wasn't.
It gives context.
Yeah, and it's important.
Yeah,
I would say it's important enough to have in there.
Yeah,
definitely.
Well, speaking of Captain America, you want to do the first Avenger?
Yeah, we should head in there. Oh, Marvel's period piece.
I love this movie.
Star-Spangled Man with the plan.
With the plan, yeah.
What is your plan today?
Tommy Lee Jones is great in this movie.
He is fucking brilliant.
I love Tommy Lee Jones.
The only thing that would have made this movie better is if they paid Tommy Lee Jones to do double time to be Red Skull on the side. Okay, you're gonna play an American general, but you're gonna be like this crazy Hydra German dude on the side.
They just CG just a red filter onto his face. He's already kind of he's got that going on a little bit.
Tommy Lee Jones, you could see coming onto set and saying, "Look, I'm not gonna wear any red makeup, and I'm not gonna wear any pants because I'm Tommy Lee Jones, and screw you."
I worked with the Coen brothers, motherfucker.
Exactly. I worked with Marlon Brando. I picked this trick up from him.
I worked with Joel Schumacher.
Ooh, that's right.
He probably tries not to talk about that.
Yeah. I think the greatest victory of the first Avenger is the rehabilitation of Chris Evans.
Oh, yeah.
Moving from the Human Torch to Captain America. How many people were, screaming, oh, you can't cast this guy?
Yeah.
And then some of us were like, you said that about Heath Ledger as the Joker, too.
Mm-hmm.
That okay.
Yeah.
So they really found their man with
great.
Chris Evans. Yeah,
he's like Christopher Reeve level.
Yeah.
Perfect for the role.
And the more he goes on, the more you see him move from this to Avengers to Winter Soldier, the more introspective the character becomes, and he's a nice counterpoint to the really impulsive Tony Stark or the really frat bro Thor.
Yeah.
He feels like he populates this universe with a different viewpoint and a different type of character.
And see if I can go back to what we were saying before for a minute. That's what disappoints me with the Hulk in the MCU is not that he does a bad job or that anything he's in is bad.
Right.
It's just you don't really see the growth of Bruce Banner as a character.
Yeah.
And that's why I wish they would have done. Just fuck it. You don't have to call it the Incredible Hulk 2. Just call it, the Rampaging Hulk or the Indestructible Hulk or something. But I wish they would have done another Hulk solo movie.
They could do a Jeb Bush thing and just do Hulk! Exclamation point.
Or Hulk Smash.
Yeah, Hulk Smash.
Hulk Smash. Yeah.
All the people at Bang Bros are like, God damn it! They stole it.
Hugo Weaving also is an underrated gem of a villain in the MCU.
Oh yeah,
because he rolls full into the one-dimensional comic book villain thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Toby Jones, for that matter, was really fun in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Never been in anything bad, and he's like that. He goes from mousy B villain in this to genuine global level threat in Winter Soldier really well.
It's awesome.
Toby Jones is one of the best villains in the MCU.
What about the part where Tommy Lee Jones is interrogating him and he's like, "What is this?" And he's like, "Steak." And he's like, "What's in it?" And he's like, "Cow." I just love that.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad Tommy Lee Jones either.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Yeah, I can kind of do Tommy Lee Jones. Not really. I'm not gonna try.
But it's amazing how many small name people who were small name actors at the time in this movie became big at it. Obviously, you've got Haley Atwell, who's probably the biggest case, and Chris Evans. But then you've got Richard Armitage in a scene, who went on to be in the Hobbit movies.
Mm-hmm.
You've got my girl Natalie Dormer in a scene, which
that's right. Yeah,
that's the most widely replayed version on my DVD. I gotta say,
Neil McDonough is in it.
That's
too.
right.
Yeah. Right. Dum Dum Dugan.
Yes, he's great as Dum Dum Dugan.
Yeah.
No, the whole movie just feels very genuine.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people aren't a huge fan of it, but I really just like the kind of the pure feel of it. It just feels like a pulp comic book to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I'm if they ever reboot the Shadow or they reboot the Phantom or the Green Hornet, this is how you do it. This is what you do. You set it in the period that it's supposed to be set in.
Yeah.
Not that Captain America can't be in the modern day,
right,
obviously, but
But you don't have to do it right away.
Yeah, and
you can
also
have a whole movie where he's just in that original time period.
Yeah, and this is a perfect case of how to do purity in film, and make it feel very genuine. This is what I hope a Superman movie turns out to be. I don't need it to be all pulpy and set in the 40s or anything, but I'm this kind of honesty is what I hope they bring to Superman whenever Henry Cavill gets another chance to be in it.
Which maybe never.
Yeah, probably never.
Jenna Coleman's in this movie too.
Jesus, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
She was like Bucky's date, I think.
Was this like right before she did Doctor Who, or like right after?
No, it must have been before. Probably a couple of years before.
Yeah. Just nothing before. Right.
Yeah.
Then, yeah.
I don't know if she's even credited, but I was rewatching it one time and it was like, holy shit, it's Clara.
That's amazing.
What about the Human Torch reference? Where they're at the future world. Remember in the beginning, and then you see the Human Torch in a tube or whatever.
Yeah, the Jim Hammond version.
Yeah,
that was clever.
Yes, that is awesome.
And just another good reference to like Marvel lore, because a lot of people don't realize. Oh shit! There was a World War II Human Torch. Huh?
Well, he was in Marvel Comics #1. He was on the cover.
Yeah. Flaming Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't really a man though, wasn't he? An android.
An android.
Yeah, he's an android. I love the.
You have to read it to find that out.
This guy's on fire. What? Oh, cop out.
Yeah, right.
Damn it.
Robots don't feel anything. I don't care what Westworld says.
I don't care what R2-D2 says.
Beeps sadly.
Beeps charismatically, yeah.
No, I love the origin too. It's if you've ever read the Joe Simon, Jack Kirby actual like original origin, it's like as close to that as you could ever get. Like I love the old lady that has the Thompson submachine gun, and there's like the bookcase that like swings away in the antique shop. I'm like, this is awesome.
And it was vintage Kirby.
Yeah, and they don't wink at it either.
Right,
that's what I love, and that's
they go all the way into it.
Yeah, there's no line where they're like making fun of it. They're just like accepting it, and that's what I love about it. But no, this is just a great movie. I love it.
Yeah, it stands out. It's probably top 10.
The music?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty impressive.
Star Spangled Man.
Star Spangled Man with the Plan, yeah.
That's great, though.
Oh, and all those Bond-selling rallies that he goes to where he, like, punches Hitler in the jaw every time. Another great, Kirby and Simon reference.
Yeah. And they have the actual Captain America #1, and you see, like, the troops reading it, and I'm like,
Kevin Feige had a good time at the day.
Feige.
Okay.
Yeah.
He had a good day at the office when he concocted this one.
Yeah, I just love that movie. Do you guys want to move on to the big one?
The big one.
Oh wait, can we talk about the big plot hole at the end?
What's plot hole?
Where Captain America has to be there to steer this giant hulking aircraft into the ocean.
You know, at that point we were so excited for the Avengers.
No, it's dumb. It's the dumbest thing.
You know what I hate at the end? Red Skull disappearing.
Just voips away into
total
nothing.
Total cop out.
Well, and I get, okay, it kind of leaves it open. Maybe he'll show up again. But he hasn't.
I know.
It's been forever, and he's not back again. Come on, guys. Don't waste him.
Because Hugo Weaving doesn't want to put on all those prostheses again.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's more than just pointy ears, but still.
I was going to say that.
Wig.
He'll show up to probably Matrix 4 or whatever, though. I'm sure he'll be in that, because all he has to do is put on sunglasses.
Yeah, I'll come voice Megatron again in Transformers 12.
Alright, fine.
But yeah, I cannot stand that he can't just jam a piece of metal up against that joystick so that it goes downward and then jump out. Like, just find another way, a more plausible reason that he has to stay on the ship. That's all there's a gas pedal or something.
By dying, he's basically saying that he would rather be with Bucky than with Peggy.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Also, here is
Stucky is a real.
I'm going to go straight into it. Those aircraft, they're not bombs, and they're not set to go off. They're just like little mini fighter planes.
They need pilots.
So I don't get why he even needs to crash it. He could just land it back.
There's so many reasons that ending doesn't make sense, and I wish that they would have rectified these problems before putting the movie out. That's the most glaring problem that I have with that movie, is just that part of it is just like, okay, I get that he has to die or end up lost in the ocean or whatever, but give us some reasons. Don't just this kind of works, throw it together, whatever.
They were clearly trying to just get to the big one at this point. Cross the finish line, hand the torch off to Joss Whedon.
And
the Human Torch.
How about when he's like following the plane, like how it goes off the cliff,
Oh yeah.
What if he just throws a grenade in, but then he like doesn't break the bike fast enough and he goes flying off the cliff and just lands in a snowbank and they just can't find him?
Yeah, I could buy that.
No, I was joking. That would be like the worst ending of all time.
It would be worth it. Well,
I don't think it'd be worse than what they have.
Remember that scene in Avengers where it's like recapping how the plane went down? Then they'd have to recap him like going off a cliff and having him flashback of him like going into a snowbank.
So you could probably get the one F word in the MCU in that. Where you're like, oh fuck!
Have they had an F word?
That wouldn't be Cap saying it.
Yeah. Language.
Yeah, right.
Language.
It would be Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah,
Oh
probably.
fuck.
Yeah.
Do you want to move on to the next one? The big one?
The big one. Oh,
big
yes.
one.
The Avengers.
Yeah, this one was difficult to push out. It was a big one.
Took a lot of effort.
Like a lot of effort. I had to wipe a lot.
A lot of
There's
Atlanta.
a lot to clean up
Yeah,
afterwards.
a lot of wipes.
Yeah.
All of Manhattan.
Yeah. They even need to sprinkle a little water onto those toilet papers.
Oh. Well, this escalated quickly, ladies and gentlemen.
Bidet action.
Yeah. Or just take a full shower.
Full on enema.
A Thanos-sized turd, yeah.
Yeah, you take that hand attachment off and set it to massage and get it all in there.
Hey, I like this movie. I'm not calling it a turd.
No,
Yeah,
I love this movie. I love Avengers.
This was a big fucking deal when it came out.
It
this
was.
was a big deal.
If it had failed, the MC would have been basically the DCEU.
Very true, now that I think about it.
Because what's DC going to do now? The Justice League... I mean, you're going to have to just go back to, like, one character movies.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that's what people want now anyway, because the team-up has lost its, like, sparkle. I mean, unless people actually care.
Right.
You know, like an Infinity War, obviously.
Yeah, they take a damn decade to build up to it. Yeah.
But Infinity War takes it to a whole different level anyways. So yeah, strictly them having a few movies and them crossing over is no longer novel.
Yeah.
And Warner Brothers DC, they're so late to this party.
Yeah. This is like going from the team-up comic book Infinity War is to the event comic. Like the Crisis on Infinite Earths, Secret Wars type thing.
Well, I think after Infinity War is going to kind of put the cap on the cinematic universe, per se. I'm not saying it's going to be, like, ending cinematic universes.
Right.
But Marvel certainly is not going to, like, lead up to something super huge after this, because it's what they've been leading to for 10 years.
Right.
So, I think if DC wants to succeed, they'll do, like, more one-off standalone movies that are much more, like, unique. Like that Martin Scorsese Joker movie that I'm always talking about on here, because I have no other taste. But, no, the Avengers is great.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I always say this, it's the modern Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because it's it's what every kid of that generation remembers going to see. It was the perfect place at the perfect time. You know, it hit right when it needed to. Everybody remembers it.
Yeah.
I was 22 when this movie came out. I saw it in theaters, and I thought to myself, I haven't enjoyed going to the movies this much since I was, like, a kid. This story, it's not even that, you know, it's full of schlocky comic book goodness. It's that the story is really well paced.
Yeah.
Everyone feels like they need to be there. They have some purpose to serve, except for Kobe Smulders, whom I love. But he's totally wasted in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
But everyone else from...
It's because she couldn't get cast in a Wonder Woman movie because Warner Brothers refused to make one.
Yeah, but Joss is like, I might still have a use for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Joss Whedon.
I'm trying to think how old I was when this came out.
Well, how old are you now? Just subtract 10 years. Or no, sorry, 6. Sorry.
Oh.
10 years for Ironman, 6 for Avengers.
I was either 13 or 14.
Woo! That's young. Wow. You literally grew up in the MCU.
Well, yeah, because it started when I was 11, which is the perfect time for the MCU to start.
Yeah.
Does that, you know what I mean? Because you're old enough to follow comics, but you're young enough to still, like, have the magic of discovering comics.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, sorry, guys.
No worries.
But I lucked out.
You did.
This movie's like lightning in a bottle. It really is. Like, you really can't recapture this movie.
Age of Ultron agrees.
Yes. Justice League agrees.
Oh, yes.
X-Men Apocalypse agrees.
Suicide Squad agrees.
Yeah. What? Fantastic Four 2015 agrees.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh, God.
Agreed before the movie even came out.
It agreed before it knew it was agreeing.
Yeah.
What other bad team-up movies have come out?
90s direct-to-TV Justice League movie agrees.
The Trial of the Incredible Hulk agrees.
Oh,
Actually,
no.
I like that movie. It's not good.
But a lot of those, actually, I would say don't qualify as, like, a direct comparison because none of those had, well, not none of them, but most of those didn't have other movies connecting together and starting to, you know, sort of formulate a cohesive universe and then, you know, erupting in this fantastic film.
Yeah.
So.
Fantastic films and where to find them.
I'm just going to say, the Van Helsing movie, which brings together all of the Universal monsters that's going to come out someday, agrees. No, wait, they already made Van Helsing that teamed them up.
And it sucked.
Yeah, Van Helsing agrees.
The Hugh Jackman one?
Yeah, that teamed up like 3 monsters.
Oh, yeah, it did.
That counts.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't, like, form a cabal and, like, you know, try to strategically take out Van Helsing, but yeah, they were all in it.
They didn't eat shawarma.
It's not a real team up if there's no shawarma at the end.
Yeah, this movie's just great. It really. I mean, there's nothing that I can say about it that hasn't been said like a million times.
The dialogue is great.
It's great for this movie, but it's very. It only works in the context of this movie because they've tried to do it multiple times afterwards. It doesn't work anymore.
You can't. Not even Joss Whedon could, like you said, replicate that lightning.
The quips only work because you're having so much fun watching. This
movie.
And
it does feel like a really good Saturday morning cartoon.
Right.
Like I said, it's the Star Wars of this generation. It's just perfectly told. You can, I mean, I know it has other movies connected to it, but you can just watch it and just have a great time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The biggest service it did is giving us a complex 3-dimensional villain, turning Loki from like this schlocky one note, I have daddy issues, into like someone who actually matters.
I was adopted.
I'm a frost giant. I remember when I went to go see this, my parents surprised me with tickets to it because I was in the 8th grade play at the time, and I wanted to kill myself.
What was the play?
Hot Rod.
Woo! Oh man!
So it's based on that one movie that they had in like 2009 or whatever.
No, it was like a 50s Grease ripoff.
Oh,
and I wanted to kill myself even before like I had to be at practice instead of watching the Avengers.
Nice.
Like about 2 rehearsals in, I was like, "Oh, this is not for me." So the fact that I was potentially going to miss the Avengers because I had to go to this stupid rehearsal was almost unforgivable in my mind. And then I got picked up by my parents, and they were like, "Oh, by the way, we got tickets to the Avengers," and I was like, "Oh my god!" And we went to go see it, and I didn't go see movies late at night that much because I didn't drive myself.
Because you were a child at the time.
Yeah.
So seeing it super late at night with like a packed house and everybody screaming, oh my god, it was such a great memory. I loved it. Speaking of something that's not a great memory, you want to talk about Iron Man 3?
You'll never see me.
Well, that was a good impression. Which is worse, Iron Man 3 or Iron Man 2? I would say maybe, because I like Iron Man 3 up until the Mandarin reveal.
Okay, yeah.
You have to give 3 at least the fact that it did something new and it tried to be subversive.
So
that makes it the Last Jedi of Marvel movies. At least Last Jedi tried to do something different. Whether it succeeded or not, totally up to your opinion. But Iron Man 2 was really just Iron Man 1 with a Russian villain instead of Jeff Bridges.
Right. Yeah.
But Iron Man 3 is different.
Iron Man 2 is mediocre throughout.
Yeah.
Right.
Iron Man 3 is pretty good up until like the halfway mark, and then it's kind of bad through the rest of it. You know what I mean?
But this whole idea of like Tony having PTSD or like stress-induced anxiety from Avengers makes total sense. Because if you go through like an otherworldly invasion and you almost die in space alone, you're going to be a changed person.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
So that it makes sense for the character.
Make sense. Yeah, it does develop the character, and also it gives us some of that him dealing with emotional issues that we did not get in Iron Man 2.
We should have.
Yeah, which we should have had in that. So they probably were attempting to compensate us for that somehow.
Probably.
Robert Downey Jr. does a great job with the anxiety attack scenes. I think those are really standout scenes. I mean, there's a lot of stupid shit in this movie, like the Extremis shouldn't be in there.
Potato gun.
Yeah, I don't think Extremis should have been in this movie. Or if it should have been more of a plot point than an actual, than just like a MacGuffin, you know.
Yeah.
And also,
you're right.
I'm just gonna say, I know people say this all the time, but Ben Kingsley should have been the actual Mandarin because the way they led up to him is really fucking intense.
Yeah.
Where he's like threatening the president on live television and everything. I'm like, this is really good. And then they just piss it all away. You know what I mean?
Or do they? Maybe it's the biggest mislead in the MCU.
I doubt it.
Yeah, it could have been, but I think they're well past that they can't really go back and be like, oh no, haha, just kidding, we fooled you.
Yeah,
the real Mandarin, it's not Guy Pearce.
Yeah.
But what if like Heath Ledger's Joker, like halfway through, was revealed to not be the actual Joker, and then like whoever like they would who did people
Aaron
want?
Eckhart could have been the Joker.
Yeah,
Aaron Eckhart while being Two-Face.
Well, yeah, because because Guy Pearce is already built into Iron Man.
Oh,
he
right,
turns out to be the bad guy.
Oh, yeah, right.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So, yeah, it's pissing away and the thing is you see it established in the movie, so that's what's depressing. It's not like, oh, they were going to have Ben Kingsley play the Mandarin, but then he dropped out. And you're like, well, I wish I could have seen that. You're like, no, I actually see Ben Kingsley as the Mandarin for a good 40 minutes. And then they just ruin it. I'm like, well, also the quips don't work. It's not that funny.
No, it's not. But infinitely better than Marvel's other 2013 offering.
Thor: The Dark World.
Thor: The Dark World. Oh, what a
dark world.
What a dark room.
got a little darker.
Yeah,
during that
it
movie.
did.
This is the worst Marvel movie.
By far.
Yes.
The thing about it is, there's like, visually, it's not that bad. Like, the pilot sucks, but some of the cinematography is good. Some of, like, the visual ideas.
Yeah.
And that, I feel like Alan Taylor's good for.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he can frame a shot reasonably well. He's a good visual storyteller.
Yeah.
But my god, the script for this is just...
Oof, it's so boring.
It
is.
is.
Yeah.
Like,
bad.
I was watching it and I was so surprised. Because keep in mind, we were coming off of the Avengers and also Iron Man 3, which I was into for a good 50 minutes of it.
I mean,
an hour.
speaking of Iron Man 3, before we finish that up, I would say that it is better than 2. I dislike 2 a lot more. The kid in it, I didn't hate the kid, and that, for me, is an accomplishment in movies. It's hard to put a kid in a grown-up movie, and even in kids' movies, they fucking suck.
In a pre-Stranger Things world,
yeah,
good child
pre-It.
characters. In a pre-It world,
yeah. The kid doesn't suck, and I can appreciate that.
In a pre-Shazam world,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Which
assume-
fingers crossed.
We're still in.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. But it is a post-Phantom Menace world, so.
Right, yeah,
There's that.
yeah. We have a lot more reason to have misgivings about a child being in a movie.
This
we
is
have reasons to be looking forward to it. And yeah, that kid was fine. But yeah, I think the third one's it's better by quite a bit.
Yeah, but it's still not great.
Yeah, exactly. Still not great. But yeah, nowhere near as bad
As Thor the
Dark World.
Dark World.
Thor the Dark World, it commits the ultimate sin of just being fucking boring. That's the problem. You know what I mean? Because at least Iron Man 3 has, like, interesting parts in it.
Mhm.
Thor the Dark World, you're just watching going, like, I could not give 2 shits about this movie in any way, shape, or form. I couldn't care less.
Yeah.
Even the post-credits scene is like,
Well, with the Collector?
yeah.
Yeah, and then, like, Thor comes back at the end.
Mm.
Which, of course, they never pay off because Natalie Portman hates these fucking movies.
Yeah. Oh. When people break up with the Marvel Universe, they break up hard.
I mean, she showed up for all 3 Star Wars prequels. This is the one that she doesn't want to come back to? I mean... It's...
Yeah, to my knowledge, they didn't have, like, a very cheap-ass excuse to rip half of her clothes off in any of the Thor movies.
Yeah, right, exactly. They at least showed her a modicum of respect.
Yes.
Yeah, and yeah, plus she's just so like shoehorned into it too. It's just like she doesn't even need to be in it.
You know who else didn't want to be there and makes no qualms about saying that ever since then? Christopher Eccleston.
That
poor man.
Yes.
He hates it.
What a tragic waste of a huge talent. That guy's a good get, and they wasted it.
Well, ever since like BBC dropped the ball with him on Doctor Who, his career has just been like. Like apparently he had to come over to the States for a good 5 years because the BBC top brass hated him, and you can't really act on TV in Britain without the BBC. Yeah,
anybody who's a huge Anglophile might have noticed that there's really only about 11 British actors working regularly at any given moment in the UK.
If you've ever seen Game of Thrones and Harry Potter, you've pretty much seen the entire acting talent of Britain.
Basically, yeah, pretty much.
There's a few outliers, but very few and far.
Yeah, that's more or less it. So
yeah,
that's what they've got to work with. And if you piss off BBC, then you're just screwed. Yeah. Is that why you had to do those G.I. Joe movies?
Yep.
Okay.
He described hating G.I. Joe, and then he said,
I got it right here.
Oh, and the Thor movie, I wanted to put a gun in my mouth.
Right here. It says, I pulled it up. Working on something like G.I. Joe was horrendous. I just wanted to cut my throat every day. And Thor, just a gun in my mouth. Gone in 60 Seconds was a good experience. Nick Cage is a gentleman and a fantastic actor.
He's so good in that movie.
I remember Chris Eccleston doing the press junkets for The Dark World. It's like, it was really important to us to make Malekith a character with like emotions and like it's all garbage.
Listen to
this.
this.
So garbage.
But a press junket.
But G.I. Joe and Thor were. I really paid for being a whore those times.
Wow.
I love anytime a movie makes somebody so fucking miserable that they just go off and... Because it's like being on a play that you hate so much that you shit-talk it on a podcast,
years later.
6 years later. I love anytime somebody has such a horrible experience on these things that, like, people enjoy so much that they're like, oh, yeah, I was in the Avengers. I fucking hated it.
You're right.
Like, I would rather... Because all of us would have given, like, our left testicle to know even one line of dialogue from the Avengers before it came out. And so the fact that this person got to be on set every day and they're like, I wanted to kill myself.
I think I have a higher, like...
I would let you give your left testicle so you could know the line and then tell me.
Okay, I mean, I don't care.
Yeah, and it would be like phone book where or telephone where he botches the line and you get
right,
the
sure,
version.
Yeah,
that
that's
way,
fine.
no risks, no returns.
I would be like, they go get Shama?
They go get food after. They get fast food after.
They get kebabs.
Yeah, they get kebab.
That's ethnic sounding food, right?
Yeah, right. Have you guys seen Gone in 60 Seconds?
No.
Nick Cage. You guys should see that movie. It's pretty good.
I mean,
It's not. I mean, okay, it's not good,
when
but
Nick
I
Cage
enjoy it.
retires from Hollywood in a year or two, as he said he's going to do, I will sit down and watch every one of his movies.
Okay, that's.
I'll watch that when you watch Mom and Dad.
What's that?
That's the movie where he goes insane and tries to kill his own
Oh,
children.
that one.
Him
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Selma Blair.
Dude, I could probably actually watch that. That's not going to be a pain.
Yeah, it's great.
Gone in 60 Seconds is it's a fun movie from the time that it came out. I'm pretty sure Bruckheimer produced it or whatever. So it's got it has a bit of like a Armageddon. Maybe not like a full on Armageddon feel, but it's got like the whole like team vibe, and it's got the look of like a late 90s Bruckheimer movie too. It's pretty enjoyable. But yeah, and him playing Raymond Calitri, he has a horrible line in it where Nick Cage's character is named what's his name? Dallas? No, not Dallas Burns. That's the what is his name? Oh man, never mind. I can't remember the Nick Cage's character's name. Yeah, I can't remember, but it's a horrible line, and it's great, and yeah, he's brilliant in it.
Nobody does horrible lines.
His character's name is Raymond Calitri, is Chris Eccleston, the villain. Raymond Calitri.
Sounds amazing.
What is that even? What ethnicity is that supposed to be? Where's he supposed to be from?
It just sounds European.
Southeastern Europe, yeah.
He's got a northern accent.
What?
This is from Doctor Who.
Oh, that's right.
Lots of planets have a north.
These are going right over my head. I don't watch Doctor Who.
It's fine.
With that sentence, you've just lost the right to talk to me.
Memphis Reigns. His name was Memphis?
No.
I'm pretty sure it was Memphis Reigns.
No. Memphis Reigns?
I could be completely mistaken, but I'm pretty sure his name was Memphis Reigns.
That sounds like a Pulp Fiction character name.
Right, I was gonna say, it sounds like Corbin Dallas, Fifth Element, or something like that, where it's just like, yeah.
There's a podcast.
Pretty sure it's Memphis Reigns, and there's a line where Reigns and his crew are like out of control, actually succeeding in stealing all the cars that they need to steal for Raymond Calitri to save Giovanni Ribisi character, Nick Cage's brother in the movie, to save his life. And he's on the phone with one of his, his goons or whatever. Chris Eccleston is on the phone with one of his goons. He said, before he hangs up, he says, "It never rains, it pours," and he slams the phone down. Because his name is Reigns.
That's really bad.
Really bad.
I'll go see it.
It's. I think you'll enjoy it.
Oh, I will.
I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find the joy in it.
Dude, I fucking watched The Wicker Man.
Yeah.
And I love both Ghost Riders.
Angelina Jolie with blonde dreadlocks.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's
I'm in. Yeah,
it's a thing.
You had me in Nick Cage.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what else is amazing? Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
2014 was Marvel's best year, hands down.
I mean,
Guardians was good.
And
it felt fresh in a lot of ways. Not necessarily as a story, but just like I don't know, there were things about it that were fresh.
Yeah,
but Winter Soldier
was in space.
It was Avengers, but in space.
They hadn't done Avengers in space yet.
Yeah, the green guy has family issues in this one, and you care about him as a character. He's not just Mark Ruffalo.
Right. Yeah.
But
his muscles are real.
Those
aren't CG muscles.
Yeah, Dave Bautista's muscles are definitely real.
Yeah. There's a woman in this movie. Oh wait, they did that before too.
Yeah. But
were you gonna? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
The Winter Soldier feels like a real movie.
It feels
good. Oh yeah.
Iron Man 3 and Thor: The Dark World just felt like episodes of a show that you probably would have forgotten. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It feels like episodes of a better show where you're like, oh, this is their off week or something.
Yeah,
you know?
Right.
In Captain America: The Winter Soldier really feels like a dark horse in a lot of ways because you've got the Russo brothers who are really untested as blockbuster directors, and here they pump out a really good 70s spy thriller. Like it's not just good for a superhero movie; it's good for a movie.
Yeah, it's just
enjoyable.
Genuinely entertaining.
Topical, and it's relevant to our lives. Like every one of us is now carrying a device that could be used by the government to spy on us. Like if you're listening to this,
could be asterisk is
could be Like if you're listening to this podcast right now, the government is listening to you because you're using an internet connection.
Yeah, your FBI agent knows what podcast you listen to,
and they're
YouTube.
Ashamed of you.
And Toby Jones is back. We talked about him with Phase 1, and he has like one of the best villain moments in the MCU, where he's like a living computer database.
Oh yeah.
First of all, I am Swiss, not German.
It's so great. One of my favorite parts in this movie is where he arrives to the fort or the base or whatever, like all run down, and then like you see the ghost of like all the soldiers running by, and then like the little skinny him stops and like looks at him. I'm like, this is gonna be really fucking corny, but this is really good. You know, it like in the hands of like worse directors, Alan Taylor. This would have been really corny and stupid, but in the hands of the Russo brothers, they do it just right, and it's awesome.
Yeah, they're good. They're good visual storytellers. Like the way they can frame a shot in this Winter Soldier has the best cinematography of the MCU. It has some of the best music. It has a lot of the best acting. It just checks off all the boxes.
It feels like everybody cares.
Yeah.
In this movie, where a lot of Marvel movies, as good as they are, it feels like a lot of people are just there to be there. Where they're like, all right, I signed the contract.
Yeah, exactly. They're ready to cash a check.
Benedict Cumberbatch is there for the paycheck. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you haven't seen Infinity War yet.
I like what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
I like what I'm hearing.
Yeah. That Nick Fury scene where he's being attacked on the road is awesome.
Oh, that's so well shot.
I love the part where like it's got like the classic thriller music where it's like dun 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 dun, and then like just a minor detail, but I love where you hear the computer go like DC Metro Police shows no units in this area, and you see like 10 cars around him, and you're like, this shit is going down.
Sorry, Nick. It's been nice knowing you. Yeah.
No, but it's so cool.
It
you're
is.
Like,
it's so. The Russo brothers know how to do everything suspensefully. It really does feel like a 70s thriller.
Yeah.
That was so good. I want to see my lease. And then like it just slams into him, and you're like, what the fuck? It's so great. Yes. I love it.
The visual storytelling there, and then the elevator fight scene.
Oh my god!
Before we start. Get off.
Yeah, get out.
Get out.
Not get off.
Does anyone want to get? That's a different movie.
Whoops! Sorry, folks.
Before we stop, does anyone want to get Bang Bros?
Yeah.
Marvel didn't take that from you.
Let's see.
Damn it.
Captain America, the In Her Soldier.
Oh. Winter Soldier.
Oof, no, yeah,
no,
see,
I was... Now we've gone to human trafficking.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of Allison Mack.
What?
Whom we were talking about before the podcast.
That was before. We're just going to leave that. I'm not touching that. Because also I don't want to edit this shit. So.
It's better than my autism joke last time.
I'm pretty sure that we've established that you don't want to edit this, Andy.
Yeah, I know. I'd rather just leave super offensive jokes in there.
Other guests made off-color jokes, or is it me every time?
Oh, no, there's other guests.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great. There have been a few.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever decide to start editing, maybe you can just do a supercut of all of them together.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Thanks, Rich. No.
Damn it. Get wrecked.
I wasn't going to get specific.
No, wait, it was Gabriel. Remember? We were doing the Cat in the Hat.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about... Oh, wait, I started talking about how the cat would fuck them all. Never mind.
Oh,
you would.
Yeah.
Dirty hoe.
Yeah, right?
I'm sorry, baby. I love
Cat
you.
in the Hat. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. That's right. But Winter Soldier just really... fantastic.
I love where he takes down the plane, where it's like stand down, and he like throws the shield and then gets up on it and takes it out, and then like the way he lands and you like the music coincides perfectly like as the shield hits the ground.
Everything in this movie is in service to the story. Whether it's the fight choreography, the music, everything is there to service the plot.
Yeah, it feels like a movie.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
The ones that feel like movies are typically the ones that we care about more.
The ones we like more.
The ones with more human moments.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. You want to talk Guardians?
I do.
Feels like a movie, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm hooked on this feeling.
Yeah. I loved it. I love the first Guardian. I like the sequel a lot better.
I mean, I like the sequel as a movie. It just feels like a remixed Volume 1 to me.
Jason's giving me the look.
Not a Guardians fan?
I'm blinking so long over here.
Yeah.
The longest blinks I've had in a long time.
Yeah.
Neither of these movies are great.
Oh,
Guardian. Oh,
sorry.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Avengers in Space. They're funny, but.
Well, I'm not saying they're like the next Star Wars.
They're funny. They're a visual feast, but like it doesn't. There's a few things that don't make sense as far as like the sci-fi elements. Even like, why does Rocket Raccoon use Jesus Christ or whatever as an expletive? Like he's not from Earth, right? He's not actually a raccoon, so he has no idea about the various religions and mythologies of Earth. So that doesn't make sense. They all use like U.S. American colloquialisms and shit. Like so a lot of that stuff doesn't really work. But yeah, it's fun. It's entertaining. It's a fun movie to watch. But I mean, good. We just went from talking about Winter Soldier. That's a good movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy is not good in the way that Captain America Winter Soldier is good.
No.
Is really, I guess, what I'm trying to say.
None of the other movies in the podcast is.
Right. Yeah.
But I guess Guardians is just at least a rung above Iron Man 3 or.
Sure. Yeah.
It's much better.
Yeah.
Than
I'd put it. I wouldn't put it as like the worst or anything. It just for me it didn't bring anything new to the table. I guess. I almost actually I would probably say that if we're gonna say that there's a point at which the Marvel movies became more product or became like started to follow a formula, I feel like Guardians of the Galaxy is a perfect example of the start of that.
Well, yeah, because they were like, oh, this is what we can do with everything.
Yeah,
now,
if we take take a group of seemingly so different, how could they ever work together? Group of heroes and throw them together and give them a common goal. Then it works. And also, classic rock soundtrack. It's I feel like it uses things that do work, but they don't feel as genuine. I don't feel like there's very many genuine moments in that movie. Like, yeah, his mom's dying, and like that's all tugs at the heartstrings and stuff like that. But it's not like they didn't make us care about her first or flesh out any of that. And yeah, I'm not nearly as impressed with Guardians, either of them, as most people seem to be.
I'll say this: I enjoy them, but I don't think about them a lot. Does that make sense? Like, there's some movies that come back to you, like even like The Winter Soldier. Like, there are moments that like stick out to you. Guardians, not really.
Sure, yeah.
Guardians, I watched and enjoyed. I don't really revisit it too much.
Yeah, having said that, I am not a huge fan of either of the Guardians movies. Remember, I just got finished pitching you guys Gone in 60 Seconds with Nick Cage. So,
True.
I mean, I thoroughly enjoy things that are utterly awful.
That are schlock.
So it's not so keep all of this in mind for context of my opinion of that. It's just not one of my favorites. It's fun and it's enjoyable. It's a good it has lots of good visuals and everything. It's super entertaining.
Yeah. Hey, I just said that I enjoyed both Ghost Rider movies.
You're right.
So this is all up in the air.
Yeah, exactly. It's all a preference thing.
No, I like.
Cinematic taste is like an asshole. Everyone has one. They're all shitty.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just putting the words taste and asshole so close together, I got worried for a minute.
That's my bad.
So, off-color joke. Now damn it! Now I have to edit.
Well, we know what color it is. It's brown.
Shit. Oh God. But yeah, this movie's fine. It's
for good or for bad. It gave us Chris Pratt as an action lead.
Yeah.
If you're Anna Faris, it's bad. If you're anyone else, it's
for good. For good, it gave us Seth Green's Howard the Duck, which I am fully on board for seeing more of.
He's clearly going to be the cornerstone of Phase 4 of the MCU.
I would love to see him just get like a Netflix movie or something.
Yeah, all he needs, give him a Netflix movie, maybe like throw She-Hulk in there or something.
This is why the Disney purchase of Fox needs to go through so that we can get that Howard the Duck Deadpool crossover.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. And Ryan Reynolds would totally do it.
Yeah, it'd be almost too perfect.
Uh-huh.
It would blow everyone's minds how good that could be.
Almost too perfect.
Almost perfect.
I just want to say about Guardians. Yeah, it's an enjoyable movie, but again, like I said, I don't go back to it a lot.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's a one and done, but I'd feel like maybe it's like a 3 and done. And I'm talking about like over your lifetime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying that like they need to make 3 of them and then they don't need to make any more.
That seems to be the Marvel formula.
Right, yeah.
3 Ironmans, 3 Thors, 3 Iron Man, I guess.
Yeah.
3 Captains America.
Yeah. I'm sure there's going to be 3 Ant-Man.
Yeah!
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I love Ant-Man. I love Ant-Man.
So first Ant-Man and then Ant-Man and Wasp. Are they going to add another character to the title of the third one?
And Goliath.
And Goliath.
Well, no, they'll probably
and Stature.
And Yellow Jacket. Ant-Man and Wasp and Yellow Jacket.
Well, they already blew their wad on Yellow Jacket in the first one.
Oh, shit, yeah, that's right. Never mind. Damn it.
It's Goliath or nothing.
Well, no, they'll just call it Giant Man and the Wasp or something.
Oh, yeah, they could.
I'll save this for when we get to Ant-Man. Never mind. Moving on from Guardians, we get to another lackluster, boring, uninteresting movie, Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law has a phrase that he likes to use to describe this movie, which is, they did my man Ultron wrong in this one, which I could not agree with more. You take what is supposed to be like the biggest threat the Avengers ever faced, and you just turn him into like Ultron the comedy insult robot.
Yeah, it's pretty disappointing. There's no other way around it. It's a very disappointing movie.
Either when Thor goes into that cave for a completely unrelated sequence that doesn't service the plot, or when Ultron starts complaining about like mass extinctions, and it's like, there'd already been 5 mass extinctions by the time the dinosaurs got there. So I'm like, what am I watching?
Yeah, right.
It's like, okay, I'm not one of those people who's like, there can't be any jokes in these movies. There have to be real stakes. But there comes a point at which the comedy undercuts the viability of the threat the villain represents, and Age of Ultron absolutely made Ultron.
Yeah, it's a tough thing because one thing that Joss Whedon fans that have watched Buffy and Angel and Firefly, he loves to have a villain that can be really silly, still scary, but they'll have silly moments.
And Loki's perfect for that. He's got mischief. He should absolutely be willing and able to joke.
Yeah,
he does it a lot better. Maybe it's because he's like more deadpan than Ultron, who's just like emotionally tone deaf because it's a robot.
Right. Yeah. Well, and Loki, it's like you. Part of what makes it scary is that you don't know if he's joking or not. Kind of like when you have characters like that, sometimes that's like scarier than if they're never, if they're just serious all the time. But yeah, when it's a robot, it just did not ring true. It wasn't quite right for that.
It should have been much darker. Or much more serious.
Yeah.
To
use a Batman analogy, there's a reason the Joker can go around making jokes, whereas you get like Bane or Ra's al Ghul, and you don't hear them like making really schlocky.
Mm-hmm.
It's just all around, and I hate the look of this movie. It's so ugly.
Oh, it's God, the palette's disgusting.
Yeah,
palette.
I don't know who fucking shot it. Like who decided this should be shot this way?
Doing all that grading.
Yeah, it looks like what it looks like. It looks like
a proto Zack Snyder movie.
Yeah, it does, and it also looks like when on YouTube when you see like Avengers recut as the Man of Steel trailer or something. It looks like somebody on YouTube has put like the Zack Snyder filter over Marvel.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, this looks awful. Like this is one of the ugliest movies I've ever seen. It really is.
It's so bad.
I can't believe that that's what they intended to go with.
The first Avengers was so colorful. Like it wasn't anything to write home about, but like it was bright and popped.
Yeah, it was vibrant enough that you felt that like sort of, I don't know. Yeah, it was bright and shiny.
It was a comic book movie. Yeah,
right,
this is just like a self-loathing comic book movie.
Yeah, and especially the parts where like the Vision like hits Ultron, and he's like, "Oh, it's terribly well balanced," and he's like, "Well, you lose power on the swing or whatever." I'm like, this is so fucking lame. Like this is really not working.
Yeah,
like it really, like that's what should have been cut out. It's like because the movie's not horrible.
No,
but.
No. It's just
boring.
it's not horrible. It's just disappointing.
Yeah.
The disappointment that you're getting as you're watching this, and you're like, this is not as good as Avengers.
Yeah,
it's not close enough to it as good as Avengers for me to forgive it.
Yeah, and it could have been is the problem.
Yeah,
by being different than Avengers.
Yeah,
because we just also come off of Cap Winter Soldier, which
surpassed
the original.
Yeah,
I feel like
and Guardians was also another like sort of team up ish movie, or at least a ensemble cast kind of movie.
Yeah.
It's the spiritual successor to Avengers for sure.
Yeah.
And for as mediocre as Guardians might be, it's more watchable than Age of Ultron.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't describe it
on
as
all
mediocre.
It's not mediocre.
It's fine.
Yeah,
that's the best description.
Age of Ultron?
It's good.
No, Guardians.
Oh.
I would not describe it as mediocre. I feel like that's too insult. Mediocre I save for like The Amazing Spider-Man. like The Amazing Spider-Man is watchable and there are moments you can get out of it, but it's not good.
Right.
Guardians is legitimately good. Maybe overhyped, but good.
Yeah, follows the 4-act structure effectively. And you like the characters, and it has enough like funny moments and good action sequences. They're like, I don't regret wasting my 2 hours.
Sure, yeah.
Age of Ultron, you do.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's
like
just a waste.
It's rough.
The action sequences feel like a recut version of everything you've seen in the MCU so far. The humor's a recut of Avengers, and visually, it's the hot mess.
It doesn't bring anything new. There's no real characterization or anything. It's just. I mean, it gives us Paul Bettany's The Vision, and Elizabeth Olsen's Scarlet Witch, for which I am grateful.
It also gives us Aaron Taylor Johnson's Quicksilver for a minute, right?
Emphasis on the first syllable of that name, Quicksilver. I had a friend recently who described Hawkeye as human, walking collateral damage, because he is, Quicksilver is his human shield.
Yeah,
his meat shield. Yeah,
his meat shield. Yeah. Yeah, well, but also I feel like we've heard a lot about how like Whedon was getting a lot of notes on this movie as he was making it, and it's not what he intended, I don't think. So I obviously, I wasn't going to blame him for it in the first place, but it's unfortunately it doesn't sound like it's him to blame. It sounds like it's a lot of suits to blame. Of course, that's what I would do if I were the director of a movie that was a huge disappointment to its fan base.
Yeah.
But
still,
no one's come out and like opposed him. It sounds like this really was the last Marvel movie that was really made by committee.
Yeah.
And this is around. This was why so much of Marvel Studios was restructured too, so that it was like more just Kevin Feige making the shots.
Right. A guy who cares.
A guy who cares and is a reasonably capable storyteller.
Yeah. He has an idea of what he wants to do. He has some vision for it, and he's doing it.
Vision. Speaking of Paul Bettany, I do like him as the Vision, but I think I like him a little bit more as Jarvis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But that might just be due to the quality of the movies.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Age of Ultron's not great. Iron Man is pretty fucking awesome. So.
Civil War also really good.
Yeah.
So
he's not in it that much.
No, but he's in a turtleneck, which is hysterical.
Yeah.
Here's a red android in human clothes.
Yeah.
It's like when they put pants on a dog to me. It's just hysterical. Look, he thinks he's people.
Before we get to that, though. We have Ant-Man.
We have to get to Ant-Man.
I like Ant-Man a lot.
Ant-Man's fun,
I love Ant-Man. It's okay. It was a good way to wash the bad taste of Ultron out of your mouth.
It's disposable, but it's knowingly disposable.
Sure.
It doesn't pretend like it's anything more than what it is, which is an Ant-Man movie.
And
it makes fun.
And it makes fun of itself in the ways it needs to. Okay, this is a guy who shrinks and commands bugs.
Yep. Yeah.
There's no way we can take this 1,000% seriously.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is fine. That's what I think works with most of the Marvel movies that work. They can do that and not have to take themselves seriously.
Yeah. Well, they can balance it. The ones that make fun of it too much, Age of Ultron, are the ones that fail, and then
Ragnarok.
Yeah, Ragnarok. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
And then I don't think we've really seen a super serious one since Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk. But those both worked as well.
Is Infinity War
serious?
serious?
No, the Winter Soldier.
I was gonna say, Winter Soldier's got
Civil War.
serious tones.
Civil War is very serious. Yeah.
Yeah, Infinity War is very serious. I'm the only one here that's seen it.
You know what's serious and shouldn't be?
What?
Dark World.
Yeah.
I feel like that took itself way too seriously.
I can't go back to that ever. Like, I really don't like that movie. I own it only because of the collection.
Yeah.
I was on a long flight recently, and this guy pulls up his laptop and starts watching MCU stuff, and he goes through Civil War, or not Civil War, he looks at Winter Soldier, and I'm like watching him over his shoulder over this because my wife's asleep, and I like have no entertainment on the flight, so I'm like, oh, I'll watch this. And then he finishes and Dark World's up, and I'm like, no!
Ugh.
You bastard.
Why?
You're supposed to save this flight, not destroy it.
No, but I love Ant-Man. Paul Rudd's great. Michael Douglas is awesome.
Oh, I love Hank Pym. Yeah.
Yes, he's great. It's really well cast, and it, like I said, it knows what it is. Doesn't pretend to be anything different than what it is, and for that I admire it.
And a giant ass Thomas the Tank Engine is never a bad thing.
I wish we would have seen the Edgar Wright one.
If for nothing else, to satisfy our curiosity.
Yeah.
Where's the Edgar Wright cut?
Yeah, right.
Where's the Wright cut?
but at the same time, I wish we would have seen Guillermo del Toro's Hellboy 3.
Sure.
I'm not going to hold any bones against this new Hellboy movie just because we didn't see it.
Or Justice League Dark, for that matter.
Exactly.
I would love to see that.
Or is The Hobbit?
Yes, exactly. I will hold bones against The Hobbit, though. I hate The Hobbit.
I feel like our list of movies that Guillermo del Toro never got to is long enough that we should be begrudging him.
I feel like our list of movies he hasn't done is longer than his actual cinematography.
Right? Yeah, seriously. It's longer than his entire IMDb credits list.
Yeah. It is. Unfortunately. But Ant-Man's fun. It's Michael Douglas does a great job as like the mentor type character. The Peggy Carter callback near at the beginning is cool. Apparently, Zola was supposed to be in that scene originally, which I'm bitter about because like an actual Zola with a TV in his chest would have been amazing.
That would have been great, yeah.
But still, for a comic book movie, this did what it needed to do. It told a fun, entertaining story, and it had heart. Yeah, and it was funny. It was
and it was different enough. From the others, so that was good. It explored a slightly different genre or a slightly different style of plot or whatever.
It broadened the universe in a way that now we have a guy who can shrink down and like run around inside of an anthill and like talk to bugs, which it broadened things in the way that Thor did. It, like added a new dimension at a point when you thought, okay, we've seen Guardians, we've seen everything, we've seen everything the MCU has to offer. Ant-Man said, well, maybe not. Yeah, and it's a heist movie.
Yes,
which Marvel really was for a while between that and Winter Soldier, moving toward like the whole genre movie storytelling.
Which is how these movies are going to survive, is if they evolve and stop doing the they all team up and they're all clever and have little banter or whatever, and then they beat the big bad at the end. Like you got to find other pockets to
it's small.
Ant-Man?
Yeah,
small.
Not. Pun intended, obviously, but it feels like a contained movie. Also, I'm just looking up the name to make sure I got it right, but it has Garrett Morris in it, a cameo.
Oh yeah, the guy from SNL. Yeah.
See, I would love to see them do, because they have Lloyd Kaufman in Guardians. I would love to see them just do more offbeat cameos like that. Like I was so disappointed that Peter Hooton who played Doctor Strange in the 70s,
right? And
that that television pilot. And I would love to see Peter Hooton in a Doctor Strange movie, just like as a cameo.
Well, Garrett did back in SNL. He did an Ant-Man bit, which is why they invited him in to do.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
Like, oh, that's a clever callback. I love that. Yeah,
that's why I'm like, I was so hoping in Homecoming, like Nicholas Hammond would show up as like his teacher or something,
or even Tobey Maguire. But
that's a little too on the nose.
He's like the crossing guard or something.
Yeah, Tobey Maguire's definitely.
But it's his actual job. Like they just happen to.
At least
he's already got the vest.
All these ridiculous people out there are like, they should cast Tobey Maguire as Uncle Ben in Homecoming. No.
Yeah, no.
That's never going to happen.
First off, I don't think it really fits.
No. And no matter what George R. R. Martin tells you, incest is wrong.
Yes.
So.
There was a news story recently about a sonogram where two kids in utero are kissing each other.
Oh.
Speaking of, and so someone decided to Photoshop Cersei and Jaime Lannister's faces.
That's hilarious.
Of course they did. Yeah. It is hilarious. It is funny.
Well, yeah. See, and notice I said incest, not twincest. I mean, there's a gray area there.
Well, Marvel's tried twincest once with Ultimates 3.
Oof. Yeah. Well, Jeff Loeb tried it.
Jeff Loeb.
Ooh. No, that makes it sound like you
not
actually
word it
tried it.
that
I don't
way.
think.
Yeah.
But
anyways,
I don't think he has a twin.
We can't do twincest in the MCU now because Quicksilver's dead.
Right. Yeah. Maybe that's why they killed him. let's just eliminate the entire temptation here,
Yeah, this
guys.
Game of Thrones thing's really popular right now. We don't want to, have the
Kevin Feige.
possibility.
Yeah.
If we're not going to tackle alcoholism, we're definitely not going to tackle this.
Yeah. This is Sokovia, not Alabama.
Yeah. Speaking of Sokovia,
Civil War.
Sokovia
Awards.
The last time the last time a Marvel movie felt like it had stakes until, not just saying I didn't care, but the last time a Marvel movie felt like it had stakes up until Infinity War.
How sad for the DCEU that this came out right after BVS, where people are like, okay, both of these movies explore, the ideas of power and morality, and how do you keep superheroes in check? One of them just happens to tell a good story while you're doing that, and one happens to be BVS.
Yeah.
So
yes.
None of that.
It's very embarrassing because BVS comes out,
and then Kevin Feige gives you a roadmap about the Russo
2
brothers
months
give you
later.
a roadmap of what it should look like. Yeah,
it's the same. Justice League just came out, and now here's Avengers 6 months later, showing you here's how you actually do this team up thing. No, I love Civil War. I don't think it's Winter Soldier good,
but it's close.
It's definitely a worthy follow up. It's the Return of the Jedi to the Empire Strikes Back.
That's a fair analogy.
Yeah,
my thing with this movie is that every scene feels really well crafted, well acted, well shot. Doesn't gel together into a cohesive whole the same way that Winter Soldier does. It feels like they're not disconnected scenes. Obviously, there's still a plot. There's still a causal relationship between each scene.
Yeah.
But the story doesn't flow in the same way that Winter Soldier does, where you feel like everything is paced perfectly. The entire cast needs to be here. But it gives us Black Panther, who, even more than Spider-Man, is like the breakout star of this movie. I like T'Challa more here than in his own movie.
Oh yeah, no,
he just
definitely.
Totally feels like much more of a character. And that scene at the end where he's like deciding, I'm gonna kill Zemo now, and realizes, you know what? I don't have to. I can be a bigger person than that because we're all living with pain, including him. And it's like, wow, this is probably the most human moment in this movie.
Yeah, character development. Look at that.
Wow,
right?
I like Spider-Man in this too.
I like Spider-Man in this too.
Yeah, I love. It's a great way to reintroduce him. This is how they should have done Batman and Batman v Superman. Just you don't even need to you don't need to have the super overblown.
Just throw him in there.
We don't need to see Jeffrey Dean Morgan getting capped. Yeah.
Yeah, I love how in Batman v Superman, this is kind of a tangent, but you know how
that was Clive Owen.
Clive Owen?
No, that was Javier Bardem.
As Thomas Wayne?
No, that was
in Batman v Superman?
No, that was Jeffrey Dean Morgan. No, it's Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Wasn't Clive Owen?
No.
Why did I think it was Clive Owen?
I don't know.
That's weird.
You should be giving DC liner notes.
I probably just don't like either of them. I think they've just played roles that I like. I just sort of instinctively think of them as villains or whatever, so I see them. And
right. You just have enough people coming in here saying, hey, let's get some Negan stuff. It's like, Dean Morgan.
Do you have any Negan stuff?
Yeah, it's around back.
Let me introduce you to Lucille.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't care about Lucille.
Yeah, I don't care about Lucille anymore.
Watch out for Lucille.
Lucille.
Again, folks, if you get this reference, please type it up in the comments section.
Type with 2 poo emojis.
2 poo emojis, yeah.
2 poo emojis, yeah. So we know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, which is also indicative of how they're feeling about this episode. Oh my god.
I give it 3 poo emojis.
Out of 3.
Yeah.
So does that mean it's maximally good or maximally shitty?
Yeah.
Well, how much do you like to shit?
I quite like
Depends.
it.
Depends.
Yeah. Depends on where I am.
Depends on if I remember to wear my Depends.
My Depends. Yeah.
It depends on if I'm on a date or if I'm at my house. Depends on how much I like to shit.
Is it like a situation where it's at work and you share a bathroom with a bunch of other people?
That's
and
a fair point. Yeah.
If you drop. Anyways.
No, that's the best time because then you can ruin it for everybody else. Like they walk in and you're just like,
it's like 2 stalls down. Someone's just having the best shit, and they're just like, "Oh man, what's that? That's not mine." Oh,
damn it! No, you could just fuck up everybody else's day.
Andy Foreman, ladies and gentlemen, the man with no shame, the man without shame. He's the daredevil of shame.
Yeah,
daredevil of shame.
Yeah. what is it? A guardian devil?
Yeah.
As I squat
Guardian-
on the toilet.
Guardian Charter.
Yeah. Enjoy it, everybody.
Shardian Devil.
Oh,
Guardian Devil.
fantastic!
Yeah.
Damn it.
When puns collide.
Oh God.
What? Oh yeah, Civil War.
Yeah, Civil
Where
War.
were
Yeah,
we?
yeah. Civil
War's
War
good.
in comparison to Winter Soldier, it's a lighter movie. You know, that's all it really is. It's just and also it's an Avengers level first Avengers. It's an Avengers level movie without being an Avengers movie. So that's I would say that gives them a lot of I give them a lot of slack for that.
Oh yeah.
You know, I was rewatching Winter Soldier recently, and there's the famous scene where Cap goes into this Hydra base and he discovers like, oh shit, S.H.I.E.L.D.'s been hiding in Hydra the whole time. And he like questions Zola. He's like, well, no, if that was true, then people would have discovered it by now. And Zola tells him, well, mistakes will happen. And then it shows a newspaper headline, Howard Stark found dead. Then it cuts to a picture of Bucky, Winter Soldier, and it's like, oh, that's when Cap found out. That's how he knew about it.
Oh wow.
Right?
I didn't even remember that.
I had to see that on the YouTube comment section because I thought, you know, when that happened in Winter Soldier, I thought, no, I get what they're trying to imply here. No way.
Yeah.
And they were planting the seeds for Civil War even then.
Yeah.
Really impressive. And just good year. Like even more impressively than Avengers, the way this movie uses continuity from like Iron Man, from the Cap series, it's good stuff.
Yeah. And
also, there's something like darkly thrilling about watching Bucky just throttle Iron Man's parents, like in a brutal sort of way.
Yeah. I mean, choking's always pretty thrilling.
Harder, Daddy. What?
Oh God.
I was gonna say their continuity. Yeah, whenever they use continuity to their benefit, it's just them betting on themselves.
Yeah.
And it works when they do it.
It's smart. People like to see a lived-in universe that has history to it.
Absolutely.
It makes it feel more real.
Yeah, it's got stakes to it.
Speaking of things that aren't real and don't have stakes to them, you want to talk about Doctor Strange?
We should. We probably should.
This movie it's the definition of fine. It's the definition of serviceable. There's nothing special about it.
It's Iron Man recut as a supernatural movie.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. That should be awesome, and it really isn't.
It's visually stunning.
In parts.
It's
mirror
visually
realm.
a kaleidoscope.
Yeah. That's fair.
I mean, yeah, if a kaleidoscope is visually
Hey, look! I
stunning.
just found the Kaleidoscope app in iMovie. Let's do that.
Right.
Let's make a Marvel movie.
Blade Runner 2049 is visually stunning. You know.
Okay.
That's
it's visually engaging. Visually engrossing in a way that most Marvel movies aren't.
Yeah. When it came out, people were like, "Oh, this is like 2001: A Space Odyssey."
Whoa!
I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like,
let's not.
Yeah. How the fuck can you look? That's the thing.
There's movie criticism and then there's sacrilege.
Yeah. The same people that said Mr. Miracle #1 changed comics as a
forever.
whole.
Yeah. The Tom King one or the Jack Kirby one?
No, the Tom King
the
one.
Jack Kirby one did, but the Tom King.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Yeah, there are a bunch of people that just haven't read enough comics to know what the fuck they're talking about.
Or have watched enough movies.
That. Right, exactly, yeah, or seen enough movies.
I always use this analogy when talking about Quentin Tarantino movies, where I love Quentin Tarantino, but I always say, like, his movies are a shortcut to being a film buff, because you can just watch his movies, and you can be like, oh yeah, the Western genre is really, really filled with lore and stuff. And it's like, well, you just fucking watched Django and The Hateful Eight. Like, you haven't watched anything. You know what I mean? Like, you haven't watched the Dollars trilogy.
You haven't seen Dirty Dozen or anything like that.
Yeah, this podcast is begging for a Tarantino episode, but
we will
someday.
Yeah, appearance 4.
Appearance 4. My 4-peat. Yeah. My 4-peat.
Okay. No, but
Episode 4.
You know, I like the Nerd Strikes Back. A Nerd Hope.
Yeah, a Nerd Hope. There you go. That's the one.
But the thing I liked about Doctor Strange is that the whole first act, where it's just Benedict Cumberbatch playing like a cocky physician, and like they actually do the medical lingo and stuff. That was the part of the movie I enjoyed the most.
Me too. And they have like that great scene with Rachel McAdams where he tells her like, "Oh, I don't want to be like a pity fuck to you or whatever." Yeah, that's basically what he says, because she's like pitying him, and then he's like, well, I don't want you to pity me, fuck you, and then he leaves, and I'm like, oh, that's really good, but then, of course, it's kind of all wasted when it just turns into, look at what we can do. It's like, well, yeah, you're fucking Marvel Studios, you have, like, the greatest special effects on hand, like, you're owned by Disney, of course you can
have
do
a greater budget than many nations.
You have, this movie has a bigger budget than most countries in the world.
Accurate. The thing I did appreciate about this movie, too, is the acting. Like,
yes.
McAdams felt good here. Mads Mikkelsen, who was written as a really one-note part, did well.
Yeah.
Benedict Cumberbatch is great, and Tilda Swinton was really the standout for me.
Chiwetel Ejiofor is really good.
Yeah.
I like him.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
really
like him a lot too, and I'm
Mhm.
hoping that he gets like a more meaningful, like
That would be
nuanced
great.
role.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's pretty phenomenal. I like his shit.
Definitely.
But overall, this movie, like, I was surprised. It felt like eating like saltine crackers, where you're not like disliking them as you eat them, but then like a half hour later, you're like, can I
Next,
just eat? You're
Yeah,
like,
can
can
I
I
get
just eat?
can
You
I
know
get
what I
some
mean?
actual flavor here?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I'm not comparing it to a rice cake because that's like the Mummy 2017, where you get nothing out of it
Yeah.
while you're watching it.
Right.
Like, you can enjoy a saltine cracker
Sure.
while you're eating it, but it just doesn't stay with you.
The Mummy-
That's Doctor Strange.
The Mummy
Yeah.
is like celery. Where you have to put in more chewing it. You have to burn more calories
Yeah,
eating
right,
it
right,
than
yeah.
you obtain from the nutrients.
Mhm.
Yeah. Do you want to keep going?
I think we've probably said more about Doctor Strange than three dudes should say.
Than
Yeah,
three
right.
dudes sitting in a comic book store at 1 a.m. should say.
So, yeah.
Let's get to Guardians 2.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I don't hate Guardians 2. It's just
I like it better than the first one.
I like, you know what it gave us is Kurt Russell in that scene where he
Yeah.
the most gifable moment in movie history where he like is watching Peter like use cosmic power for the first time. It's like yes, and Kurt Russell just brings his hands down really fast in like this gesture of amazement and like his eyes open wide and it's just super gifable. I'm gonna go onto YouTube when this is done and like once this is posted, I actually find that gif and post it
There
in
you
the
go.
comment
Yeah.
section so that I don't sound like a
There
complete
you go, yeah.
person right now.
All right. Or you could just respond to it on when we put it out on Twitter or whatever.
Yeah.
No, I like this movie a lot more. I feel like it has a lot more of like an emotional hook to it. I really like the Ego and Peter Quill stuff. I really do. I know you're like aren't super into these movies, but
It's just it's not.
You know what was better this time around? I
What?
the B story, Yondu and Rocket. That B
Oh,
story
yeah.
was really good. Like those two characters,
They worked well
appreciate.
together.
Yeah, and they shouldn't have. They're like people who have nothing in common and yet.
Which is always great. Yeah, when you can
Yeah.
take those like two disparate characters and like find a way. Like actually, if you put them together, it's really weird and it's
Yeah.
great.
And it makes sense. Yeah.
I just love the Ego stuff, and not just
Ego's-
because I'm a Kurt Russell fanboy either. I just think it's got some really good like moments to it.
Who would have thought that we hear, Kurt Russell ever say, "Yes, Drax, I do have a penis."
Anybody who what was he in Starman? And like yeah, anybody who
There's
grew
a
up
callback.
anybody who grew up seeing that in the theaters, their minds were just blown.
Yeah,
Yes, Drax, I do have a penis, and it's a pretty good one.
that's right.
Yeah, the movie is a repeat of the first one, but I feel like it does enough differently, and I think the inclusion of Ego actually makes me care about it more than the first one because there's like a real story to it. But again, I don't feel like it sticks with you the way it should.
Yeah, it's done
Yeah.
the next morning. Also, remember when they teased Adam Warlock in 2 Guardians movies in a row, then
Still haven't done.
done nothing? Right? What?
This brings back Howard the Duck.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say
Yeah.
Infinity War. Keep paying
Yeah,
attention.
right.
Like,
Yeah.
what?
No.
Oh, if only. Yeah, it does.
No
And it-
spoilers.
It
no
has
spoilers.
Sylvester Stallone, Ving Rhames. You can't not like Ving Rhames.
I don't not like it.
And
It's just
it's
gimmicky.
Cobra
Michael
Bubbles, damn it,
Rosenbaum.
from Studio and Stitch.
I know, but that's what these movies are. Like these are the movies
Exactly.
that
That's probably why I don't like them. Is because
I
they're just
know.
a gimmick. It's Avengers in space. It's a cameo from a relatively well-known actor. It's not. There's not substance to it.
Yeah, but I feel like there's substance to the ego part, which makes me care
Why?
about the rest.
What about that is substantive?
I mean, the scenes that he's in feel legitimate. Like in the father-son thing, to him feels legitimate to me. I'm not saying it's like.
I don't
Like
feel
when
that
they're playing
way.
catch with the glowing blue ball.
Well, no, I'm more like. I like the part where he crushes his Walkman.
Yeah.
That's
My
a good
favorite bit
moment.
is when they're fighting and Star-Lord makes a giant Pac-Man around himself.
Yeah.
That like it was
Okay, that's a gimmick.
that was that was a
It
gimmick.
is a
but
gimmick. The
I
whole
laughed out loud
thing's a
at that.
gimmick, and probably the problem is that the first one didn't get me. So this second one, I care even less.
Okay.
Right.
You
This
know,
movie
that's
can
what
only-
that's. I think that's what happened for
This
me.
movie only succeeds if you like the first one.
Yeah, and I just
And even then, it doesn't necessarily.
yeah, and not that I didn't just outright dislike it. It just didn't grab me. I didn't really care about anybody at any point during the movie, and like I said, it felt so gimmicky from the start for me that yeah, by the time the second one came around, I couldn't get into it. It was and yeah, I wasn't great. I didn't feel like the story was terribly cohesive. I felt very much like I was watching a series of animated shorts that just happened to connect together. Like the CW loves doing these little animated features that like they'll release like 3 to 5 minutes of it on CW Seed or whatever, like online.
Oh, like
and
Vixen.
Then, the Vixen one. Yeah, so like they all connect together and it comes out to like a 45-minute mini feature or whatever you would call that. That's what I felt like I was watching Volume 2. Yeah. It just felt like a bunch of silly, goofy, cartoony bits that they just strung together into a feature film. And I guess I would have to probably discount a lot of the ego stuff from that, because that didn't necessarily feel that way, but it just felt like a lot of little bits. It didn't feel like one big story that they were telling. Right. To me, I felt like it was just kind of coming out of a dispenser.
Well, that's why I say it doesn't stick with me the way it should.
Right. Yeah.
Like the ego stuff does, but everything else doesn't.
Yeah. And like I said, because they didn't get me to care enough about Peter Quill in the first one, I guess that's probably why I didn't have a connection to him and his dad in that one either. Also, I was just sitting there and like 15 minutes into the movie, I'm like, oh. Well, clearly Ego's the villain in this movie.
Yeah. His name's fucking Ego, for pity's sake!
It's like, they haven't had anybody really stand out as like, oh, well, there's a dark figure over there in the corner. In the same way that watching Wonder Woman, like, you figure out pretty damn quickly that Mark Gatiss is the villain.
Oh, yeah.
Because, they haven't really shown anybody who's a villain in this. Oh, it must be that dude they showed for like 5 minutes at the beginning. It's like watching an episode of Castle, you know? Like, you can pick out who the murderer is pretty easily.
Yeah, it's like a Hardy Boys book.
Yeah, right, totally.
Are we done with Guardians 2, or?
We've squeezed pretty much everything I think that we can out of this.
I think so.
Please don't talk about squeezing things out
that's true.
In the back of a comic book store at 1 in the morning.
You already mentioned you already called the Avengers a turd, didn't you? Or was that Winter Soldier? That was Avengers.
No, Avengers is good.
You used the turd metaphor for it, I should say. You didn't call it a turd.
Must have been for Dark World.
Yeah,
Dark World is a turd.
Yeah, exactly. And that must have been when we used.
Possibly, I don't know. If you're listening,
when we started talking about Avengers, you said this was a big one. This was hard to push out.
That's right.
And then you clarified that you didn't think that Avengers was a turd.
I'm actually laughing at my own joke from like 30
as though you weren't the one that told it.
Oh God!
I get a partial writing credit on that joke now.
All right.
What's after Guardians 2?
Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Oh, okay.
It's fine. It's better than fine because I really enjoyed it while I was watching it. I don't necessarily remember a ton of it. Yeah. And I've seen it like 2-3 times. None of it really sticks with me. Yeah. And that's the problem that I feel with a lot of these Marvel movies is like
they're flavor of the minute.
They're missing the hook of like
why does this matter to me?
Like, exactly.
Yeah. Why do I come back and rewatch this movie a year from now?
It's
and you don't if it's like Age of Ultron or like any of the Thor sequels, you really don't. Even the first Thor, you see it once, you're probably good for life.
Right. Well, for me, actually, watching Thor the first time, I wasn't a huge fan, but as I watched it repeatedly, I started to kind of get like, okay, I feel what they're going for. I actually liked it more on repeat viewings. But yeah, you can if you're not me and you liked it the first time, then you're good.
Yeah. It won't get better a second time.
Yeah.
Sorry. for most people. Mm-hmm. For most people.
I love Michael Keaton in this.
Oh my God, he was. This was
he did great.
When Marvel villains started to be a little bit more than one note.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like we had that with Loki before, although back in Dark World he just ends up being like a schlocky schemer again. But Michael Keaton's Vulture actually feels fully realized, fully realized, if not more so than Peter Parker.
And he has a real motivation. No, this movie it feels like a love letter to Spider-Man, and like I said, it draws from a lot of his history. I feel like the story itself isn't actually that engaging. But there's enough moments in it.
It doesn't necessarily need to because it's really more about the characters. It's about saying, okay, this will be the 6th Spider-Man movie now.
Yeah. The third reboot.
The third. Oh Lord, the third reboot in a generation. Yeah. Let's just make it fun.
Yeah.
And it is mostly fun.
Yeah, That's the point of it, and that's why I don't. That's why I don't dislike it for being sort of forgettable. Yeah. Because it was supposed to be. Because every fucking Spider-Man movie that had come out before that, it's like, the city is ending. Yeah, and you have to save her. Mm-hmm. You know. Yeah. And the last one, they fucking had Gwen Stacy die, which is, I mean, it's terrible, but it's a big deal. Yeah. It was terrible in that movie.
That should be a big emotional moment.
Yeah, but we don't need that in another Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, this one's about his high school drama, which is exactly what Spider-Man's about in the 60s. Yeah. That was the point of the character, is that he's the lovable nerd that all the folks reading comic books back in the day could relate to.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, I don't remember every issue of Spider-Man that I've read. Yeah. But I've enjoyed them while I was reading them, and if I went back to them, I would enjoy them. And that's the thing about Spider-Man Homecoming, is it's like, I don't remember it the way I do Spider-Man 2. Mm-hmm. What a gem. But that's the point of this.
Yeah, right. Well, and to to touch on the whole it's his high school years and high school drama. When you're in high school and you have high school drama, that is the end of the world. You know, like, shit is really, when you're that age, everything that happens to you is so huge. So it's like, it's almost like, the city is ending, but it's not. It's just like, he has a chance to talk to the girl he really likes, and he misses it.
Yeah.
You're like, that's a big deal when you're, 14, 15-year-old kid. It's a big deal.
Believe me,
also
it was
has
2 years ago for me.
This also has the second best twist in Marvel history. The first best is Hydra being hidden inside S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
The second best twist is Peter going to pick up Liz for the prom date or homecoming date, and surprise, surprise, Michael Keaton's there.
Dude, when I was watching that, I was like, okay, movie, you got me. Like,
challenge accepted,
Yeah, no, I was like, because up until then you have like that whole fairy sequence, which is, it's okay, but it's not anything spectacular, you know what I mean? Like, it's not exactly thrilling. And you've been kind of watching the movie passively, but then that moment happens and you're like, all right, I'm in.
It jars you out of your complacency. This is
right,
not your typical,
That's the perfect way to say it. It jars you out of your complacency.
Okay.
I'm going to use that for every Marvel movie from now on.
That actually does.
Yeah.
Then you get some that are like Thor the Dark World that jars you into complacency.
Right. And beats you down into complacency.
Mjolnirs you into complacency.
Well, speaking of complacency, how about Thor Ragnarok?
I knew that was coming.
How about Thor Ragnarok?
I knew that was coming because I know how Andy feels about Ragnarok.
Can everybody shut the fuck up and quit pretending like Ragnarok is so amazing?
What are you talking about? It's the funniest Marvel movie ever.
I know that.
You know what? It gave me Surtur, who I've been clamoring for 3 Thor movies, and it gave me Clancy Brown as Surtur and Taika Waititi doing the mocap for him. So I'm fine. Everything after that opening scene, I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I got what I wanted. Thor facing giant flaming Satan, and I got it.
I like that part though. That's the thing. I was watching it, and then they have like the dragon following him, and it's all silhouetted. I'm like, this is straight out of a comic book.
Yeah.
But then you get to all the other shit, and it's just these such unfunny jokes. Like,
jokes are bad.
They're not funny.
But going back to that opening scene, just like even the mounting the camera on the back of Mjolnir and having it like take out fire demons from that perspective, like Taika knows how to set up good action shots. Taika knows how to do.
It's not a complete failure.
Yeah.
It's not the Dark World.
Right.
But it's just. It came out, and I feel like everybody was pretending it was like the next Mad Max Fury Road or something, where they're like, this is the most fun action movie you'll ever see.
Mad Max, Rainbow Road.
But then I watched
Rainbow Bridge. Rainbow Road for you Mario Kart fans.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I'm watching it, and I'm like, I don't give a shit about any of this, and the jokes aren't funny.
The jokes are bad, and the dramatic stuff, if it was like played right, it could have been great. Like, oh shit, Hulk's been missing for years, and he's like a gladiator warlord on this planet. Mjolnir's destroyed. Asgard's destroyed. There's like genuinely good dramatic stuff that had been like played properly would have been really good.
They just brush over it all.
Yeah, and then Korg makes a joke about, oh, Asgard's been destroyed down to foundations. Yeah, you really can't rebuild that one.
It's really just, it doesn't land, and honestly, it's obnoxious. That's the only way I can say it. Is this movie is extremely obnoxious. Like it's like, we're a Marvel movie, and you're gonna laugh because Chris Hemsworth and Mark Ruffalo are making jokes together, and you're
Jeff
like,
Goldblum is being Jeff Goldblum for 2 hours.
Yeah,
because that's who he is at this point.
But
he's basically playing himself. He's not acting. He's like, you know what, Jeff? We're not going to give you a script. You just do you.
Yeah, but I mean, he works. I like him in it, but it's just
I like him
for a while. I'm like,
he's interchangeable Marvel villain like 623.
Yeah, it's like when you insult someone to their face and they laugh along with you because they don't get it.
Yeah,
that's a good analogy.
Yeah,
it's like that.
This movie is like, you're gonna laugh at this, and then when you do, I was watching it going like, this isn't that funny. Yeah. I'm not saying I'm smarter than the movie, or well, actually, this movie's not that smart.
You are smarter than this movie.
Yeah, I would like to give myself a little bit of credit.
Yeah, you don't have to be that self-effacing.
You know who's good? I like Cate Blanchett, who very much realizes that she's being written as a one-dimensional villain and just plays the part.
Just hams it up.
And even Carl Urban, I liked towards the end, where he has that like heroic way of going out, and it's like, oh, Carl.
Yeah.
Oh, Scourge. I like to. These are my guns. Deaths and Troy. That was bad though.
But
that was bad.
Overall, this movie is just that's the only way I can describe it. It's obnoxious and it's annoying.
Yeah. It tries to like, aren't I funny? It's like the class clown in high school.
Oh,
yeah,
God,
yeah.
Everybody look at me. Everybody laugh. Look, I'm funny. You like me, right?
Yeah.
Notice me, senpai. Can I have $500 million? And America said yes.
Yeah.
Well, the world said yes.
Sure did.
I mean, it's the most profitable Thor movie. So.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and Thor needed a win. So, and they figured out how to do that is give it the Guardians treatment.
From everything I've heard, he's apparently like one of the breakouts in Infinity War 2.
He actually is really good in Infinity War.
Good. He's my favorite Avenger. He hasn't had a meaningful character journey since like the first Avengers movie.
Yeah. See, that's why I'm so hurt is because if we're counting just Captain America, Hulk, Iron Man, and Thor, like the main 4 Avengers, Hulk is my favorite. So that's why I'm like.
And he's been getting the shaft for a decade.
Yeah.
You know what? That's a fair.
Dude, I've been watching Ang Lee Hulk, and I've been watching the Ed Norton Hulk, and I've been watching 5 seasons and 3 telemovies of the Bill Bixby Show, just waiting. I'm like, someday they'll make another one. And then like Thor Ragnarok comes out, I'm like, God damn it. And then Age of Ultron comes out, I'm like, God damn it.
All right, well, it's a punchline again.
Yeah.
How do you think it feels to be a Green Lantern fan then? Like, Green Lantern movie so badly. I'm like, yes, Ryan Reynolds was exactly what I was hoping they'd cast, and then it comes out, and it's like,
Well, how do you think it feels being a Superman fan?
Not pretty. I mean, you'll always have Christopher Reeve.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. At least you got a good 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Or at least 1.5.
No, I got a good 4. 1, 2, Superman Returns, and Man of Steel. I like Man of Steel.
That's right. You still like Man of Steel.
Yeah, we're not getting on that tangent though.
No, that's an episode I would say. Well, that was an episode you guys did already.
Yeah, exactly.
The DCEU one.
Let's do Black Panther real quick. Have you?
Wakanda forever.
You haven't seen it yet, have you?
I haven't seen Ragnarok or Black Panther yet.
Okay.
Black Panther's good. Sorry for spoiling the crap out of Black Panther. Ragnarok.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's Ragnarok. If it was good, it would matter. But
Ragnarok, it tells you what's going to happen in the title, I guess.
Right, exactly. The title is the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a problem at all. Trust me, if I cared, I'd have seen it by now.
That's a fair point.
Black Panther.
By the way, Luke Skywalker dies in Last Jedi.
Yeah. Right.
Better put a spoiler tag in this one, Andy.
Yeah. I accidentally ruined The Last Jedi for Jason last week.
Well, I mean, did you ruin it, or did Ryan Johnson ruin it?
Or did Kathleen Kennedy ruin it?
Ooh, yeah.
That's an episode.
Another tangent.
That's it. Yeah.
That's episode 5 when you come back. That's your 5th appearance.
That's episode 8 when I come back.
Yeah. Nailed it.
Well, when I clap, it makes the sound meter turn red on Andy's iMac.
Yeah, everybody's
iMac.
Everybody's ears are bleeding.
Just being Taika Waititi and doing really obnoxious humor.
All these headphones just popped off of people's heads.
Yeah.
No, they fists went through the computer monitor.
What is that?
Which doesn't stop the sound if you have separate speakers. So.
Pat just actually came in and just threw Mike Morano's phone out the window.
Told you to listen to it with the earbuds in or not at all.
Aletha has just thrown Rich's phone to the ground and just stop.
Oh, is that the military guy in 5?
No. Hi, Justin and Christina.
Damn, I like them. They're cool people.
I hope they do. Well, they're never going to hear this if they don't.
Yeah.
Either or.
They're going to be like, who's this rando talking about us? Yeah. Restraining order time.
They're going to be on this eventually.
One of these days.
Yeah, someday.
They'll probably by a satellite.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Our first ever Skype guests.
That'll be fun. And then the audio will be off about 5 seconds.
Yeah, well, it'll be delayed.
So it'll be like a 2-hour podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a 2-hour podcast.
Right.
Is it?
No, it's an hour and a half.
We're getting there.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah, we better talk about T'Challa then.
Yeah. Black Panther after Thor Ragnarok and Justice League came out in the same month. I was like, woo! Woo!
Yeah, what a relief.
Oh hell.
They can still make good comic book movies.
Oh hell.
It's definitely good.
Yeah, I was so worried that I didn't give a shit about comic book movies anymore. You know what I mean? Because I love comic book movies, but Thor Ragnarok and Justice League coming out in the same month, I was like, man, maybe did I just get old all of a sudden?
Yeah, Wonder Woman and Spider-Man came out in the summer, and they were like good to okay to good.
Yeah.
Then Ragnarok and Justice League came out, and it's like, ooh.
It was Logan that really was like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
But
you mean Guardians 2 didn't totally float your boat?
Well, okay.
I kid.
Logan and Guardians 2. I'm not putting them on the same level, but those are the ones that I cared about.
Right.
Spider-Man and Wonder Woman are the ones I was fine with, and then Justice League and Ragnarok were the ones where I'm like, oh no.
So the earlier that a movie comes out in the year, the better it is if it's comic book based.
Yeah, look, Deadpool and
Deadpool.
February.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, in Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But Black Panther.
Yes.
Black Panther's good.
It made me believe in comic book movies again.
It made me believe in Michael B. Jordan again.
Yeah.
I mean, I never stopped believing. That guy's always
Creed is great.
Yeah.
Creed is great.
Yeah. Whenever you put Coogler and Jordan together, you get a good movie out of it. Yeah. He's definitely the best MCU villain so far.
Well, Infinity War.
Yeah. Okay. Stop 5. You stop 5.
Stop saying those words together.
Yeah.
All right, we get it. It's a movie. We'll see it.
Yeah. No, this movie feels like a real movie.
It does, and this is gonna have to say this. There's no way of being delicate about it. It takes a bunch of people with names that are like unpronounceable to Westerners, and like actually gives you a story where you know those names and care about them. When Everett Ross is the most like easy to pronounce name.
I think there are people already protesting.
That's my bad.
We
Yeah.
haven't even dropped the episode yet, and they're just lining up out front.
I know, but
it's 2018 for you.
But it takes a bunch of like non-Western names and is able to turn them into like a story where people are like, yeah, M'Baku, I love that guy.
Woo! Yeah, it's just a really well told movie.
And the humor really lands here. Like, like it's not overused. There's like a joke every like.
Every other scene.
Yeah, every other scene. And it's like not schlocky.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Black Panther and sister just had a cute moment. M'Baku made a cannibalism joke.
It's very honest. That's what I like. Is that it?
I mean, unless we want to talk about the Marvel one-shots, but we probably should.
No, I'm not doing that. What is it? It's fucking 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, are we good?
No last words for me, Jason.
Yeah, no, I think I'm good.
Y'all excited for Infinity War?
I am.
I was thoroughly engaged the whole time, and
Nice.
I've watched a lot of these movies lately, not out of choice, but just out of sheer complacency. Like
Obligation.
no, there's a lot of these movies, Spider-Man, Ragnarok. I've been watching them just sort of passively, where I'm like, yeah, these are fine.
These are
Doctor
movies.
Strange, Ant-Man, I'm like, these are fine. I was thoroughly engaged the full time.
Good.
It felt like the first time I watched the Avengers again,
Nice.
like the first Avengers,
Yeah.
and I was like, wow, that was really fun and good. Well, actually, it's not. It's fun, but it's pretty sad too.
Oh, okay.
You knew that
Sad
going
can
in.
be fun.
I think what they should do with Marvel moving forward is like do the less is more approach. When
Yeah,
Star Wars came out like in the past, it was one every like 2 to 3 years, and it was a big event. You knew that was going to start a conversation about movies. Marvel doesn't really do that anymore. They're pumping out multiple movies a year now.
Yeah.
And it really that dilutes it.
Yeah.
So, which is not to say they still don't make good movies, because you still do get a Black Panther or Captain America: The Winter Soldier, but maybe push the brakes a little bit so that we get more Infinity Wars and fewer Dark Worlds.
Right. Well, I think we've said on the show before, and we were probably talking more like just generally about all the superhero movies that are coming out. How it's like there's so many of them now that they kind of make a backdrop against which the real standout ones can pop, like Logan. The ones that are just different enough and still superhero
Logan,
movies.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Even Deadpool. It was a
definitely.
groundbreaking one.
Yeah, it's not a smart, like it's not a smart, and I'm not insulting it, but it's not like an intelligently crafted movie in terms of like it's not like high concept or anything.
No.
But it's a really entertaining movie. You know what I mean?
Pushes the Infinity War. You mean, or Deadpool?
Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool pushes superhero movies out of their comfort zone, at least.
Yeah.
Which, just by making it R-rated.
Also, it broke ground for R-rated movies, which I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, every fucking movie has to be R-rated. R-rated Batman Solo or bust or something, you know what I mean?
R-rated Smurfs sequel.
Yeah, but the R rating...
Yeah, right.
Oh.
Smurf me hard.
The Smurfs XXX.
Yeah.
I don't know much about the Smurfs, so I'm out of this conversation.
That's a good policy.
Yeah,
That's a good choice.
But yeah, the R rating just opens up different story possibilities and also different tones. That's why I'm like, please let Venom be R rated, because then that means they're doing a weird body horror movie, and I'm like, I'm in for that. But if it's just this PG-13 like pizza, like boring rip-off movie, I'm like, I'm done.
Also, hearing Tom Hardy do an American accent's like really jarring.
That's what I was going to say something about that with Doctor Strange when you guys were talking about like the medical jargon in the early part. I couldn't enjoy that as much as you guys probably, because I'm sitting here like acclimating to his American accent.
That's true.
I've seen enough Sherlock that I'm just like, oh, that's not. It's not even that good.
Speaking of Benedict Cumberbatch, I don't know if you guys have ever seen like the test footage of him from The Hobbit, where he's like actually doing the motion capture for Smaug.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
It's hysterical.
Because he's just like crawling around on the ground.
Basically,
right?
yeah. It's like, it's so hysterical. Because this is a guy who's clearly committed to his craft.
Yeah.
And he's taking being a friggin' dragon seriously.
The only reason the people in the room weren't laughing is because they were all so exhausted that they were just asleep while he was doing this.
Yeah.
Like Peter Jackson's just sitting there with like half a pastrami sandwich on his, like in his mouth. And
It's gone cold.
Well, because he didn't have time for lunch.
Yeah.
He said, he's like, I didn't take lunch
that's
breaks.
Right, yeah.
It's like, I didn't take lunch breaks. I just like laid dolly track and figured out what the fuck I was going to do.
But he didn't figure it out. He never did figure it out.
Yeah.
That's an episode we have to do.
Peter Jackson.
filmmakers who got it wrong. Ridley Scott on Prometheus and Alien Covenant. You know, Peter Jackson, George Lucas on the Star Wars prequels. Just filmmakers who don't understand their own product anymore. You know, their own work.
Or they're just getting like a stick jammed up their backsides by the movie studio.
Right.
James Cameron with Terminator Genesis. I start to see things I recognize. It's like, oh really? Do you? In a fucking Terminator movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it? No shit.
Poor Emilia Clarke. Totally wasted in that movie.
Yeah.
Or the miscast.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, I'll do a Terminator movie. Alan Taylor's directing. Oh, fuck. Is he going to make me get naked again? Haven't I done that enough for you people?
He always does this to me.
Solo. She might be screwed over again.
No, she got in and got out just before the Game of Thrones showrunners did it. To like got it coupled with the Star Wars project.
Right.
Like, oh, I'm getting in and out just before that.
Yeah.
Okay. Apparently, there's going to be 3 solo movies, or there's room for there to be.
He's contracted for 3 movies,
Right.
but of course he's contracted
Yeah.
for 3 movies. You know what I mean? That's like saying, well, all the Fantastic Four actors are contracted to return for a sequel. Yeah, no shit they are, because they're in a blockbuster movie. Doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Right.
Disney is definitely waiting to see what's going to happen.
Kevin Feige has a plan. Fantastic Four. If that Fox deal goes through, he's got.
Oh yeah.
Probably won't be till Phase 5, but maybe blowing all his chips on the Avengers in Phase 1 wasn't the worst decision after all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that it? Oh, sorry.
No, I think we're good.
I'm down.
Thanks for coming back.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks
It's always
so
a
much,
pleasure.
I was talking to the audience.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding.
I'll see you in the dark parking lot after this.
Okay.
Stab.
We will, well, if this episode isn't uploaded, you all know what happened to me. It's a paradox.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
That's exactly it. Like, they don't if you don't upload it.
It's like the ending of Captain America.
Yeah.
Oh.
You just don't understand it.
It just
Andy's plane went down somewhere in the North Atlantic.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for coming back. And, Free Comic Book Day is next Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody who wants to hang out with 2 famous podcast co-hosts, we'll both be here.
If you don't have better Cinco de Mayo plans than that.
Yeah. Saturday, it's the 5th, right?
Saturday, yeah.
JPM Comics. Next Tuesday morning, right across from Donut Man, Route 66. Come by, get a free comic, and meet some famous podcast co-hosts.
Yeah, we're super famous.
Yeah. Internet famous.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see you guys then.
Hail Hydra!
Have a good one.